It is Thursday, February 19th. It is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3. And folks, the curling is on. So if you see my eyes shift this way, the women's curling is very important to me. SP3. Everyone knows this. Why are you a hater of the curling? Why?
I guess it's a sport. Obafemi did it.
Did Obafemi do curling? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. See?
Yeah.
If Obafemi's doing it, then everybody should love
it. he's like, this is new information. I'm running with it.
It is. I'll perpetuate this. I don't care if it's a lie or not. But yeah, if Obafemi is for it, then everybody should be for it. It's a big game.
He's the only one that I know of.
I feel like everybody would do it, like if they, understood it. Like Shayna Baszler loves it, so I'm still trying to get her on to talk about curling. Maybe after the Olympics we can work something out there.
Shayna Baszler wished me happy birthday one time.
There you go. Shayna Baszler seems like the coolest person, so get her on to talk curling. We lost yesterday to Great Britain. The terrible loss. Now we got to beat Switzerland to make...
to Great Britain?
Yeah, It was a bad loss. Blew a 7-4 lead in the 9th and 10th end. It was tough. If we won that game, we would have been in the semifinals. But now we got to beat Switzerland to make the semifinals. Up 3-2 in the 7th end. So, yeah, my eyes are going to be shifting to watch the women's... The men suck. The men, I'm pretty sure they were eliminated. I turned the game off yesterday. They gave up 4 in the third. Like, if you give up 4 in any end, you're done for. That's a tough one to come back from. I don't even know what the final score was. I assume they lost badly.
That's like a blanket statement, though. The men suck,
The men have won gold before. That's what got me into curling. It wasn't the year they won gold. It was actually the year before, because they did really well. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a cool sport. Like, this is interesting. And then I just kept watching it ever since. And they won gold like the 4 years later. And I've just watched it ever since then. So the men actually, are. Another reason I think a lot of curling is big in the United States. Like, if you don't like the curling, I don't care.
Why don't you watch a real sport like badminton?
I love badminton. I was a high school champion in badminton, so...
You would be.
Yeah, thank you. Is that because I'm white?
I meant that in the most complimentary way possible.
Middle school. I think it was middle school. Middle school champion in badminton. Yeah. I love the bat. We got a badminton net in our backyard, and I destroy the kids. The kids get so mad at me, I'm out there hitting all kind of different shots, acting like I'm going to hit it long, and then just a little drop shot on that, and then they're running, and then they gotta run forward, and they get so mad at me. They're like, "This is bullshit." I was like, "Yeah, get better. That's what you should do. You wanna complain about these things? Just get better." Then you wouldn't have these problems beating their asses in some badminton.
I feel like when I watch you and Joel, you talk about Olympic sports, but you haven't been talking about the real story about especially the Winter Olympics. Is all the clapping.
Oh, we talk about that. Yeah, we always talk about it. They ran out of condoms. Again,
clapping them cheeks.
I don't know how they
be clapping them cheeks in the Winter Olympics. And in the Olympic community,
this is an issue every year. I don't know how they run out of condom. Like, everybody's gonna be fucking. So, just like you gotta have I
was trying to use anything I can use without saying. You just had to ruin it. We're not even 5 minutes out. Thanks everybody for joining us. Jeremy heard our monetization, so please drop the thumbs up on the video, share with your friends, subscribe if you are new, and sound off in the live chat. Send a super chat donation if you want to have your comment said and read on screen, so we can talk more about clapping cheeks, a real Olympic sport.
We do have a super chat from Henry, who just says, "Good morning, everyone." Good morning to you, Henry. Hope you're doing well.
What is your favorite morning song? Like, you wake up in the morning, what do you listen to?
I don't listen to I mean, I have an alarm that is a song, but I don't like listening to. I don't listen to a ton of music in the morning. I'm listening to podcasts in the morning. SP3. I'm doing work when I wake up.
You get up and you just start working.
Yeah.
Mine will be "Good Morning" by Kanye West.
Kanye. Okay. No, I don't listen to a morning. My alarms are. I have an alarm that goes off when I need to get up to wake up the kids. And that's Mike Tyson "Blow to the Face." So by
great.
Clips. Yeah.
That's great. That's a great
and
song.
then
we were talking about that yesterday. We filmed we're doing a music podcast now on True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment. Me and Stat King, because our friendship started when we went to St. John's University, and I was at a house party. I was dancing with some girl, probably on the floor or something, I remember. And then I turned around and he started arguing with me about, I think I was arguing in favor of Jay-Z and he was arguing in favor of 50 Cent, who was the better rapper at that time. It was 2007. Those are the type of conversations that used to happen, even though now it's not a conversation who's better. I was right. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you were
right. And yeah, we're doing a music podcast now. So it's a 360 type of thing. And we're doing, it's called True Headphone Heat. So still THH.
Okay.
Great idea by, I got to give credit to where credit's due to Romeo. Romeo came up with that
Fuck
name.
Romeo.
He's like, I will never forget him big leaguing us on the spotlight. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna be like, yo, would you stop big leaguing Jeremy and contact him? And
it's a Jensen. Jensen tries to set it up to talk about gambling and stuff. Jensen is the one who books like every spotlight guest.
He
so
big leagues me every Tuesday on radio.
Yeah, I know.
I literally had to let him know this Tuesday for next Tuesday because JJ is fed up. JJ's been like, we have not seen a good episode of Raw this whole month. So he's like, I'm taking next week off.
Fair. Nah, I like Romeo, but I also, it's my bit to just say fuck this person.
It's cool. It's cool.
Oh no, I like True True Headphone Heat. I like this.
Yeah. We brought up Let God Sort Him Out because I was like, I really, after like a couple of listens, I think I've listened to the J. Cole album like 4 times because that was our first episode reviewing that. And spoiler alert, we did star ratings for each and every song. I did not know it was going to take that long. It was like, I was like,
it's 24 songs.
I was like, we're just gonna do like 30 minutes, right? We just do like 30 minutes, and then I came up with the idea of doing star ratings for each song. That podcast is like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, there's 24 songs. You weren't gonna get through that in half an hour. Oh yeah, Mike Tyson blow to the face is my like early morning alarm, and then I got an alarm. A 5-minute alarm before this show starts, so it goes off at 9:55, and then I'm still late. But a reminder to try to tell myself like, hey, it's 9:55. You should probably like get set up for the show and everything. That's Family Ties by Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar. So it's got like the horns at the very beginning, so it goes off. I used to have Fuel by Eminem and Jid.
Okay.
As one of the songs, so it's something that'll get me a little pumped up and awake. But otherwise, I don't listen to music in the morning.
Yeah, I agree with Jose in the chat. Like every listen of the Fall Off, I've been liking it more and more. Even though there is one song where I definitely know if we would have done like a list because it went down every time I started talking about it more. Is Only You. Because Only You seems very competitive, especially after Life Sentence. But my big thing why I was bringing that up when you brought up Mike Tyson Blow to the Face, I was like, there's been like 3 major hip hop albums that I've listened to in the last like 8 to 9 months. It's been GNX, The Fall Off, and Let God Sort Him Out. I was like, Let God Sort Him Out is not only the number 1 out of those 3 albums, it might be one of the best rap albums like ever. Like I think it might make my top 10 when we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that as well on True Headphone Heat. It's top 10 hip hop albums, but that is like a no skips at all album, and I've listened to it so many. I think I've listened to that album like 10 times since it came out.
Yeah, it was heavy rotation when it first came out. One of the better decisions that I made last year is I don't do like anything for myself. I mentioned this the other week is like I should have gone to the Cavs and Thunder game last month. I just didn't because I was like, I just have like too much work to do. There's too much going on, and I really regret not going to it. Just to mainly do something for myself because I just don't do anything for myself. But last year, going to Clips was something I did for myself, where I was actually like, all right, I'm glad I did this because that was a very last minute decision. Fortunately, it was only like 45 minutes away. It's not like it was super far away, but that was something where I was like, all right, I'm glad I did this for myself to go to this concert and go see them perform that album and obviously other songs live. And again, one of the better decisions I made in my life, but certainly last year. Now I love that album. GNX is still really good. I've still listened to The Fall Off. I've been listening to the old Baby Keem album because his new one comes out tomorrow, so
yeah,
I'm excited for that. And then my usual old rotation of old Eminem stuff. Like it also depends on like who's in the car with me, So
yeah, you said that before.
yeah. The girls are in the car. We got to put the Taylor Swift on. The boys are in the car. Okay, we can put some rap on and everything. And depending on who's in the car with everything, it might depend on what rap we listen to. So some of the kids can handle the more lyrical and graphic, I guess, rap, and some of the other kids, you gotta tone down the rap that you're listening to.
A little bit more poppy.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with everything. Why can't you listen to Eminem at all anymore?
I could listen to the first 3 albums of Eminem's catalog like at any point in my life, especially Marshall Mathers LP. I think that's in my top 10 greatest albums of all time. I've went back and recently I've re-listened to Marshall Mathers LP2, which is better on the re-listen than it was like the first time I listened to it.
I like LP2. I'm a stan. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not. So I like basically anything that he does. Now look, there's certain tracks I'm like, yeah, this just kind of sucks. But for the most part, I'll give him more grace than anybody because I'm an admitted stan. Can't have the kids listening to all the old Eminem. I usually put on Recovery because Recovery is very much like a therapy album for him.
It is.
So that's an album where I can put on and like, all right, depending who's in the car, we can get. There's nothing too terrible on Recovery. Yeah, Recovery is definitely.
It's a very tamed version of Eminem. I remember I loved it when it first came out. Then I re-listened to it and I was like, yeah, it's not as good. Not as good as like his upper echelon. I wouldn't say it's like A tier. I think it's like more B tier than anything. I actually like on re-listen. I actually like Relapse more than Recovery.
Relapse
at the time when Recovery came out, I was like, oh, this is better than Relapse. And then I've re-listened to it in recent years, and I was like, Relapse. The production on Relapse is just so good.
Relapse is the one you can't put on with the kids in the car because that's the very graphic, talking about putting an umbrella inside a woman and opening it and everything. So like, yeah, can't have that one going on. Can't have that one going on with the kids in the car. So yeah, that's the one. Can't do it.
Oh, got a good question for you because I know you listen to Kendrick. What do you think is the better album, T-Pab or Good Kid, Mad City?
I see To Pimp a Butterfly is my favorite Kendrick album, so I'm gonna go with To Pimp a Butterfly.
I think Good Kid, Mad City is much better than it. I know a lot of people say like T-Pab is like one of the greatest albums of like all time, and I'm like, I have Good Kid, Mad City ahead of it. I think those are definitely one, two as far as like the top albums of his catalog. So I'm not gonna really argue with anybody who puts T-Pab above Good Kid, Mad City, but Good Kid, Mad City is like arguably a top 2, top 3 concept album of all time in hip hop.
I mean, the 3-album run with Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn is like, does it really get better than that? Now To Pimp a Butterfly, a lot of it is, like when it came out, where I was at in my life, and how I'm not trying to say I can relate to everything Kendrick is rapping about, but like when it came out, I'm pretty sure I was in like college, and it was just like hitting with me at the time, and it just stuck with me when everything was going on and everything. Just when he dropped the album, and so it's like just continued to stick with me through that. Like I'm sure if I went back and like re-listened to Good Kid, Mad City through like 2026 years, maybe I would feel differently about things. But I'm very set, and this can be a feature or a flaw. I'm very set when it comes to music on a lot of like first impression. And that's not to say like something can't grow and get better, or be like, oh yeah, that's just like I can't do it. But I'm very set on first impression, and also like nostalgia. I'm not gonna pretend like nostalgia doesn't play a part in a lot of this. And like my memories of To Pimp a Butterfly, I just have like more fond memories of listening to that with friends, and like just listening to it over and over and over again when it first came out, compared to Good Kid, Mad City.
That's fair. I think it's like unanimous with J. Cole in his catalog that his best album is 2014 Forest Hills. Even though there's a lot of people that are saying now they think The Fall Off is better, which I do think that it's like on re-listen, man, that album just keeps getting better for me. It's just only you. It's just that gets worse every time I listen to it. Especially after Life Sentence. I feel like Life Sentence people are sleeping on. Life Sentence, especially if you're somebody like me or you or Zarian in the chat, you got wifey and you got wifey at home. You listen to that song, you just look at them, you're like, man, I understand this man on a different level. Like this is a life sentence right here. A life sentence you can smile about and talk about. That's a radio hit waiting to happen. So yeah, I love that song. I Love Her Again is a great on just every listen. First listen, second listen, every listen I listen to, I really enjoy that. But Forest Hills Drive, yeah, that put him on a different level. So I still think that's his best album.
Ryan says, best now, that's what I call music album. Those albums were bangers for like the first 20 or so.
Whichever one had Backstreet Boys, Everybody.
That's fair.
Everybody. Yeah. Man, we can talk about it all. I could tell y'all, of course, yeah, No Strings Attached is NSYNC's best album.
Yeah.
Even though I do love pop. I do love pop. I'm sorry.
Pop is good. Yeah, Dirty Pop is when they
started experimenting with like R&B and hip hop beats, I was like, yo, NSYNC, they took the step ahead of Backstreet Boys. Even though I've always been more of a Backstreet Boys guy, but the combination of No Strings Attached and pop, come on.
Ryan's asking your favorite O-Town song. Isn't it Liquid Dreams? Haven't we had this conversation
everybody
before?
knows. No, it's not Liquid Dreams. It's Cause I Want It All. Or nothing at all. There's no one left to fall when you reach the bottom. It's now or never. Is it all? Or are we just friends? See, I don't have the singing voice anymore. I used to be in choir. I was even doing that with my daughter and my son the other week. I was doing the Viva Viva So Viva No.
Maggie says NSYNC suck. Maggie says NSYNC suck. I was always a bigger NSYNC person than Backstreet Boys person.
You were more of an NSYNC person? I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Like Bye Bye Bye, like that shit was.
I mean, that's what I said. No Strings Attached, yo. Like you will go. It's been like 26 years since No Strings Attached come out. I can say verbatim, bye, bye, bye. It's gonna be me. Like those hits that they had on that, even stuff that wasn't hits were hits. Like, oh man,
we went
that album's an all-timer.
We went roller skating the other week, and Bye 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 came on while we were skating. I'm over here like just doing the whole dance while skating and shit. And my our friends are looking at me and like. He's actually pretty impressive that he can like skate and dance at the same time. Like I gotta respect it. They're like, oh, Jeremy's out here just like grooving with this stuff. I was like, yeah, like it's NSYNC. What do you want me to do? Like you throw on an NSYNC track, you throw on Bye Bye Bye. Yeah, I'm gonna dance to it.
I did the whole routine at a karaoke bar when we went out to Chicago for my boy Stat King's wedding in 2023. I think it was me, Kelvin, who you know, me, Kelvin, and one of our other friends. We did the whole NSYNC, but NSYNC, it's gonna be me dance routine.
It's a good ass song, man. Now Backstreet Boys was too. Now look, when like Millennium came out and everything.
Millennium is an all timer. Millennium is their best album to me, and that is another one that's nothing but hits. Even the stuff that didn't make it to radio is a hit.
Yeah, that was like bangers on that one. Before, like I thought they were just like too soft with their songs, and that was my issue with them. But then like Millennium came out, I was like, oh, we get some bangers on this one.
Yeah.
So.
And to answer, I think it was Greater Than Haro. Definitely College Dropout over My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, it's better production, and the writing content I think is just like otherworldly. It's very kind of like a lot of introspective stuff on Kanye's album, but I mean like lyrically, production wise, he's never hit the highs of College Dropout. College Dropout, I think I've listened to that like multiple years later, and it's a timeless album. All Falls Down is probably his greatest song of all time, as far as like lyrically, the music, the singing performance by what I forgot, Sierra Johnson or something like that. Like, oh man, it's just amazing song, and just that is a no skips album. College Dropout, I feel, is Kanye's best album from all the levels on every checkpoint that you look for from an album. I wouldn't even put My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy at number 2. Honestly, I would go number 2 is Late Registration, because Late Registration is the greatest production of Kanye's career. Kanye has a top 3, top 4 catalog in hip hop history to me.
And then he did Yeezus.
Yeezus is not as bad as some of his later stuff, the stuff that came out like the 2020s. Oh man, those are awful. Cousins and stuff like that. Like, nah,
I refuse to listen to his later stuff.
It's actually fine. It's not awful. Some of his last couple of albums, it's like he's trying to ruin his catalog. He has a top 3, top 4 catalog right now, and he's trying to ruin it. Bully better be something good, bro. Like, cause you might go way down the list. You above your mentor right now to me. I would put Kanye's catalog above Jay-Z's catalog, because I feel like Jay-Z has a lot of mid albums. He doesn't have bad albums, but he has a lot of mid albums.
I remember when Yeezus first came out, I didn't like it, and then that was actually one that did grow on me a little bit. I still don't think it's not something I'll throw on a lot or anything. Especially compared to the 3 you mentioned. I actually like 808s and Heartbreaks, I think, more than
that's another one that grows on you. I totally agree. Life of Pablo is another one that grew on me. Yeah. Life of Pablo is a really good album. I think it's behind the first 3 and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy for me, as far as like his most complete album. But 808s and Heartbreak is like right next to Life of Pablo for me. Those are good albums.
Yeah. Yeah, Yeezus was one that actually did grow on me a little bit. I tried listening to one of his newer ones. I don't even remember which one it was. And I was like, I can't do it. Yeah. I don't have high hopes.
Donda,
yeah.
Donda 1 is fine, but I agree with Greater Than Haro. It's a little bit too much. It's too much. Like I said when we reviewed the J. Cole album, I was like, if this was 16-track album, this is a 10 out of 10 album. But like I said, I've listened to it more and more, and I'm like, nah, I like most of these songs except for Only You. Only You. I gave my original rating was like a 3 3/4. Then like midway through our review, I was like, you know what? It's 3.5. And then after we were done with the review, I listened to it again. I was like, it's more like 3 stars. I think it's on the same level as 24 Intro. 24 Intro is like 50 seconds, but it's just so repetitive. Oh man.
You gotta have me on True Headphone Heat. I don't know for what album, but you know.
We're gonna do some retro ones, so
that's all I listen to is retro stuff. So
yeah. That's me too. That's what I said. I was like, we got to do retro albums because that's what I'm gonna be listening to more.
Like I just listed anything that's come out over the past few years. Yeah, it's the Kendrick album, it's the Clips album, J. Cole, the JID album. That was probably about it over the past couple of years that I've like actually listened to from at least new rap. I mean, Slim Shady or Death of Slim Shady came out 2 years ago, so I guess you can throw that in there. But yeah, not a lot of new stuff from me. It's I go with the stuff that I grew up on mostly.
It's certain artists that I will listen to like nowadays, like Kendrick, J. Cole, Clips, those guys. I will let Eminem's like one of my all-time favorites. So yeah, I listen to that. I actually re-listened to 444 from Jay-Z.
Like Jay-Z,
yeah, I think last year, and I really love that album.
I really like that album. Even on first listen, I really liked it. I think people, I don't know if they were disappointed by it, but like I remember when it first came out, I was like, "Oh, Jay-Z is like." I remember 50 Cent did like an Instagram post. He's like, "This is too much grown man shit album." I was like, "Yeah, that's the point of this album."
50 owns. I love 50 because his catalog gets worse every album, but like he still has a 10 out of 10 album. Like you throw on. I don't care what anybody tell me. I listened to this when I was in high school, when I had the CD player on my way to school. I would listen to it every morning of freshman year of high school, and to this day, I can go back and listen to that album, and it's no skips. Yeah. I'll listen to every song on the album.
Yeah, so I have like my giant like shuffle playlist. It's like, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 songs on it of just like all the songs that I like. And depending on what the mood is or whatever, I'll skip around. But like anytime something from Get Rich or Die Trying comes on, I'm like, yeah, I gotta listen to this song. Doesn't matter what song it is. Like, nah, I gotta listen to this. All those songs, just straight bangers.
That's an all-timer. That's a 10 out of 10. Massacre.
Okay,
not as bad as people like try to make it sound. That has a lot of hits on it. That's a good album. I think actually I will take back my comment. I think Curtis is actually better than Massacre. Curtis just had the problem of coming out on the same day as Graduation, which is like the most commercially accepted Kanye album of all time.
Greater Than Haro asking, do you like the Chance the Rapper album, the new one? Yeah, I did like the new. I did. So that is actually another one I listened to. I did like the new Chance the Rapper album. I probably want to listen to it like twice since it came out. I should probably give it more listens, but on first listen, again, I did enjoy it. Okay. So what I was gonna ask is, there's been the talk of 50 and T.I. doing like a versus. Who do you think wins that if they did that? I don't think it's gonna happen, by the way. Like I think T.I.'s like mentioned it, and then they've gone like back and forth on, but like I don't think 50's actually gonna do any of this stuff. He just seems like content with like trolling and making his money through all the other business ventures that he has. But like, who would you have in a versus between those two?
Immediately, my first answer was 50. Even though
that was my immediate thought too.
I feel like maybe T.I. will have more hits, but 50 has the higher highs.
Yeah. That was my first thought when I saw it initially. I was like, I think 50's got him. I think if 50 uses mixtape stuff, then like it becomes a little bit more clear. I mean, like if he puts like How to Rob on there, that song to me, like, I know it's not like a hit song or whatever, but like that's a good ass song right there. So I think if 50 uses like mixtape stuff, then and G-Unit stuff,
like he just gonna use Get Rich or Die Trying. That's all.
Yeah, I mean he could use that, but like if he's able to use G-Unit stuff as well, like you throw on Stunt 101 or anything.
I'll teach you how to stunt. That's exactly what I thought of when you said G-Unit. I'll teach you how to stunt.
That's a good ass song.
I'll teach you how to stunt. Oh man.
Great. He's gonna use like half of
Get Rich or Die
stuff.
Trying movie album.
Yeah, that's true.
He could use that window shopper that at me.
I like I'll whip your head, boy. That's
I'll whip your head, boy.
He's gonna use a bunch of game stuff. He's like, I wrote all this shit, so
he's like, hated to love it, the underdogs on top. He's like, I'm using that. He on the hook for most of these, for most of Dave's hits, so he can use it.
Yeah, so I think that 50 has him as well. T.I. is a little bit underrated though when it comes to especially hits. Like T.I. had some real hit. Rubber Band Man is still just like one of my favorite songs.
That's like the first time I ever listened to him. Rubber Band Man, $5
Yeah, that's a banger ass song. A lot of it, and like he was smart in, you know, he had like Rihanna on tracks, he had Justin Timberlake on tracks, so like he had that crossover of like big pop hits as well, like pop rap hits, and that helped him out. But T.I. had definitely had some hits with everything. Ludacris is another one where like I want to see him. He might have done a versus. I didn't keep up with it on much, but Ludacris's highs are like
he has
some of the highest.
Some good highs, but I didn't like his performance in All Star.
See, I had that on mute. Like it looked like I unmuted it for because I think something else was on that I was watching. Grand Slam. I was watching Grand Slam at the same time. And so like I had it on mute, and then like I unmuted it, and it looked like he was like lip syncing everything. I was like, this looks like it sucks. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I was like, you disappointed me, Luda. You're just an actor now. I get it, bro. You're waiting for the next Fast and Furious movie. I get it, bro. But nah, Luda, Word of Mouth. That's probably my favorite Luda album. I remember having that
Chicken and Beer.
Chicken and Beer was a good one, but like that Word of Mouth was probably my favorite because I had that album in my CD collection back in the early 2000s.
I love Luda one because like his the beats were really good, but like he just be saying shit, and I always just appreciated that. Like Luda just straight up he'd say the dumbest shit. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, this works.
He was very imaginative with his rapping and his storytelling and his rhymes.
Yeah, I did love that. I know the Grapsody guys talked a little bit. Because when I did my simulcast with them on Monday, they were talking about Lil Wayne, because I know the debate was like, oh, Lil Wayne like doesn't be saying anything in his raps with everything. I was like, he's still good though. Like
I would never got into the Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah, I did that short where you like bury Lil Wayne, which I was very proud of because I put the lighter flick on right before you went into your rant on Lil Wayne.
I never, when all that best rapper alive, I was like, yeah, he's a very good mixtape rapper. He's a very good feature. I'm not like the Carter 1, Carter 2, Carter 3. Good albums, good to great album. I thought like as far as like Carter 3, I think that's a great like commercial album as well. So yeah, I'm not gonna act like he never had good albums, but I never thought he was the best rapper alive. I was like, when did Eminem, Jay-Z, and all these other rappers die? I was like, what are you talking about, sir? I was like, you couldn't even sell as much as Kanye in that year. And Kanye, that was like Graduation was Kanye's like third best album. So I mean, at best, third or fourth now. If you really look at his catalog, like and then Lil Wayne bombing on this latest album just pleased me. It pleased younger SP3 very much.
Yeah, the latest album, I was like, oh, this is rough right here. I was never the biggest Wayne fan, but the first few albums definitely. I was like, all right, I still listen to a lot of that shit. Like I was listening to Go DJ yesterday,
really good song.
And even like This Is the Carter, like that's a good song. But I like Lil Wayne. I mean, again, I'm Eminem biased. I'm always gonna be like, yeah, that's the best rapper, even though I know he's not everybody's cup of tea stan. But yeah, Lil Wayne. I still Lil Wayne, much like Ludacris though, he just be saying shit, and like I just respect that.
Yeah, I respect it. I do respect it now. Like as an older me, but I still have that inner part of me. It's kind of like Chris Paul. Like there's still, a couple of years ago when we first started doing podcasts together, there's still a little bit of that SP3 in me that's really like he's getting what he deserves. And then it's more of the older SP3 that's be like, no, he deserves a retirement tour at least. He's one of the greatest point guards of all time. So as far as like me at 37, there's still a little bit of 17-year-old, 16-year-old SP3 that's like, I don't get the little weight hype. I just don't. And just don't. Kanye's better than him. This guy's better. Like I just.
Speaking of, I mean, Chris Paul, unfortunately, well, depending on who you ask, he like is retired. He's not going to get a retirement tour. What a sad ending. Like, I know you're not a Chris Paul guy, but the way
it's still. I love basketball, so it is disrespectful for one of the greatest point guards of all time to not even get his retirement tour with the team that he really is arguably the greatest player in Clippers history.
Is there an argument? Who's?
I mean, there'll probably be someone who want to argue with us about it who don't like Chris Paul as much as I didn't like Chris Paul. So there'll be somebody.
I just don't know who the argument's for.
Blake Griffin?
Nah. I mean, Blake Griffin owes
Bob McAdoo
majority of his career. Anybody arguing for Bob McAdoo never watched Bob McAdoo, so I don't take them seriously.
Like, hey, he is the best player on the all-time Clippers team in 2K, sir. So I think he's the greatest player of all time. Elton Brand?
No. None of these guys are better than Chris Paul. Like Kawhi, if you want to say
Kawhi's the greatest player to wear a Clippers jersey. He's not the greatest Clipper of all time.
Yeah, I mean, look, he can enhance his argument with the way he's been playing this season, and if he can somehow get them into the playoffs, and I mean, they might be the 7th or 8th seed. It's going to be tough for them to pull like an upset, but he can certainly enhance his argument when it comes to that. I just don't see an argument for anybody over Chris Paul. Honestly, I can't buy it. Blake Griffin, I guess, would be the guy, but I feel like Blake Griffin owes much of his success to Chris Paul. So
he does.
Yeah. Whereas Chris Paul, he ran that team. I can't see it for anybody but Chris Paul. It is sad the way it all ended. It seemed like it was shaping up nicely, and then it was just like, oh, actually, we're gonna dismiss you, and then no other team wanted him, which doesn't surprise me that no team really wanted him. But is also a little surprising in that he played well for the Spurs last year. By all accounts, everyone on the Spurs liked him, got along with them. I do think there's a disconnect between him and just other teams in the sense of, I think he wants to compete, which rightfully so. He's literally got one more shot at a ring. So he wants to compete, and the teams that are able to compete don't really want him. And I think this is kind of an issue that Russell Westbrook runs into, is he wants to compete, but he's on the Sacramento Kings, who are the worst team in the league, because no team that actually wants to be competitive wants Russell Westbrook. And right or wrong on this, I think Chris Paul still has some value to these teams. Maybe it's not fully on the court, but they're yeah, we just don't feel like dealing with his attitude. And the same thing with Westbrook. It's yeah, we just don't feel like dealing with his attitude when it comes to this, because he wants the playing time, and we just don't have the playing time to give him. This is why Chris was so great on that Thunder team and on the Spurs last year. It's those were teams that just weren't expected to do anything. Now the Thunder turned out to be much better, largely because of him, but the Spurs, nobody really had hopes for them last year. It's all right, how can we get Wemby better and build him up and get him just more acclimated to everything? Hey, let's bring in Chris Paul. This is a good guy to learn from here. And no younger team wants to bring him in to do that, because I don't think he wants to be like, he doesn't want to go like the Wizards, you know, like with those young guys. I know now they have like they have Trey and Anthony Davis, but like, he doesn't want to go there. He has one shot at a ring. That's where he wants to go, and it's just a disconnect with him and teams.
He would have been perfect on the Houston Rockets, but then he would have to deal with KD on his burner accounts making fun of him.
Do you think those, so this leaked. This came out on All-Star Day, actually, which is very funny.
On All-Star Sunday.
Yeah, so these burner account, alleged burner, we'll say alleged. These alleged burner accounts came out where he's burying his teammates. He's calling them things that I can't repeat on this show. And
triple double cocaine bear.
Look, that's actually a great fucking nickname.
He is very. I said this when I was talking about starting 5 with you on Netflix. He's probably the funniest. He was the funniest person on that season, and him talking about being online, perpetually online, and on Twitter all the time. And he's admitted that he's that guy, that he will do this. So none of this is that surprising to me.
He's admitted it, but then he gets asked about it yesterday, and he says, I'm not about the Twitter nonsense. I'm like, you are only about the Twitter nonsense. What are we doing? You were tweeting at like 4 a.m. You were literally arguing with people on Valentine's Day on Twitter. All you do is Twitter nonsense.
This is like,
but now you're not about it.
I'm not about this podcasting thing.
Yeah.
I'm not on that podcasting thing, you know.
Don't ask me about podcasts.
KD is hilarious. He is hilarious. That answer was hilarious to me. And get off my Dickerson and everything that
That's such
he
a great
said
name.
there. It's such a good name. Such a good name and such a KD burner account name. Like if I had to think of what would be KD's burner account, it would be get off my Dickerson, because that is his energy on his own account. So it makes sense that would be his burner account. But oh man, I think like the most damning stuff is really the NBA stuff more than anything. I mean, it like the whole him being a Drake stand and going after Busby about Kendrick.
That's hilarious.
That's just hilarious and just makes him look like a dweeb. But like the stuff about his teammates is just like, dude, like you really don't have anyone you could talk to. Like you don't have anyone you could talk to where you could talk about this type of stuff and don't have to put it online, that there isn't this really kind of like Jericho list edition of receipts of everything that you are talking about here. The stuff about Alpin Shangun and not being able to shoot and everything, that was wild. Him talking about Jabari Smith. Jabari Smith has said KD is his favorite player of all time. He's his inspiration for being a basketball player, and now he has to see that KD is just like, he ain't shit. They thought he was good.
He buried Jabari Smith, buried Sengun, buried Devin Booker and Vogel and Steve Kerr and everything. Like he just, there's a reason why he's kind of just flamed out on these teams so quickly. And you see that like it is kind of him more than people are willing to admit, because he's such a great player. Like I'm not going to take anything away from him on the court. But this is what I said going into the season with the Rockets, where everybody was like, "Oh, the Rockets are going to be so great." I thought they would be very good, and they are. Like they are a very good team. But I'm like, Durant doesn't influence winning like people want to claim he still does. He's obviously still a great player, but look what the Suns did last year. Sure, there was some flaws with that team and stuff, but now look what they're doing this year. It's like, are they really a better team this year compared to last year? Like, I don't think so. Like, yeah, Nets
Dylan
were...
Brooks,
Dylan Brooks has been great. He's been great, honestly. Look, the Nets were... they had a lot of issues that went beyond Kevin Durant, but he was still part of that team that had the issues with everything. So it's not the fact that he's talking about his teammates like this though. I'm with you of like, I know he doesn't have like a girlfriend or a wife or anything. You can't go to like.
He needs one. He needs these things.
I'm not even saying he needs one. Like, look, do I think it's helpful? Yes. Like, I'm sure you're the same way. I'm sure a lot of married people are the same way. Like, I talk to my wife about my issues with whoever, and it just helps to get it out, and then we move on, and it's fine. Like, I can't stand Joel. I'm just like, oh, fucking Joel did this again today, and I just gotta bury him to my wife all the time, and it's like, all right, then it's out, and then sometimes I like Joel afterwards, but you just gotta get it out. But like, you can't have like a therapist or something, like just a. He has his podcast. Like, can't you just talk to those dudes in private instead of putting this on like a burner account with everything? I think it's hilarious. I mean,
hey, it's the talk of All-Star Weekend. A good All-Star game happened, but no one's really talking about that. Everybody was talking about KD and all the receipts that came out, and then his behavior during All-Star Weekend just like gave it away. Like it was like we were seeing him realize that he got exposed in real time with how much he was on his phone during All-Star Weekend.
It's very funny. I mean, now they got to play basketball. I think they have a game tonight. Very interested to see how that goes, but now they got to play basketball on there. I give him criticism because he has only won in Golden State. Sure, he made them. They were a 73 win team without him. Yeah, he made them just unstoppable. Is what he made them. He didn't make them great.
He made, like, we did a list of the greatest teams of all time, and the 2017 Golden State Warriors was number one for me. I think that was the year that they went 16-1 in the playoffs. That's the greatest team of all time. Even better than the 1996 Chicago Bulls for me, because that team that shouldn't have been real. Like, not even like, oh, that team's not real. No, that team shouldn't have been real, but KD made a choice to go to that team. And yes, to kind of legitimize his legacy, he does have to win without the Golden State Warriors, without Steph Curry, without Klay Thompson, without Draymond Green. He has to win to kind of put him in. Like, if he wins another championship, I don't even know what the situation could be. He could be the second best player on the team even, but he just needs one championship outside of Golden State to be like a top 10 player. He's right outside of the top 10, and stuff like this in this whole scandal kind of pushes him down the list even further in a lot of people's eyes.
That's very funny. I hope it continues to just blow up the Rockets. Fuck that team.
Hey, it's working in our favor over there ahead of us right now, so we can just jump on over them. So good time.
I mean, Rockets fans and Thunder fans got beef going back to the Westbrook and Harden days, because those were some like toxic conversations around that stuff.
I just don't want my Lakers to be facing the Denver Nuggets in the first round, so I would love for us to get up to the 5th or 4th seed, please.
Yeah. See, I think Jordan saying the Rockets are a threat. Like, they are. Like, they have enough talent. That offense,
but they're a flawed team.
Yeah, that offense is rough, very rough. And like, they brought in Durant to just be like, okay, well, we've got a go-to scorer with everything, and obviously it's worked. But I watched them against OKC and then the Clippers a couple games later. They beat the Clippers in the first game, then they lost in the second game. But against OKC, that was in a Thunder team without Shea, without Dub in the lineup, and you can just muddy up their offense so much. And yes, Kevin Durant could get buckets when he needs to, but I don't know if their offense is sustainable like enough throughout the game during that. And yeah, they'd be more of a threat with Van Vliet. We talked about it on this show. When Van Vliet went down, that was a huge loss for them because they didn't have a true point guard. They're trying to use Amen Thompson, who's not a true point guard. Reed Shepherd he was the 3rd overall pick, so obviously he's highly touted. He played like 0 minutes last year, which isn't great as a 3rd overall pick. Like, you feel like you would still get him some developmental, and then they're like, hey, Now go be the point guard on a team that has championship aspirations. And it's like, well, that's kind of a tough situation to put him in. And clearly the coach doesn't trust him defensively, and that's an issue as well because they're a defensive-minded team. So even if like he's great offensively, it doesn't matter because he gets burned every time on defense. Again, I was watching the OKC game, and OKC, like, all right, where's reach out? Oh, okay, switch. Like, Cason Wallace was, like, cooking them. I'm like, okay, if Cason Wallace is doing this to you, we don't even have Shea or Dub out there. You can't play. You can't play against our top guys if you can't play against Cason Wallace. I'm sorry. You can't. So they definitely need a point guard. They're not going to get one, though, because there's no one. Like, trade deadline's passed. The Timberwolves are getting Mike Conley back. Chris Paul's retired. I don't think Chris Paul and Kevin Durant really got along anyway, so that's an issue.
That's why the Suns didn't work out. So.
Yeah, so that's an issue. So I don't think they're going to get what they got. They got who they got. The Rockets are going to be a tough out. I'm not going to pretend like they're not. That's a flawed team, though. And now Steven Adams, because one of the big things that they did offensively of why like their offense actually worked is they just got every single offensive rebound between Sengun and Adams. Like, all right, sure, they might miss a shot, but between those two guys, like, okay, offensive rebound, get another chance, get a putback, whatever. Now Adams is out for the year. Now you're just down to just Sengun, who can still get offensive rebounds, but it's just not the same like force down low. So now their offense looks even worse with that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for them right now. Like I thought they would be probably the second best team in the West, but they got leaped over by the Spurs and the Nuggets. Nuggets was always kind of there. They were like, I was like, it was between them, but after their moves in the offseason, I was like, I'll give the Nuggets the edge because they got an MVP candidate in Jokic. So yeah, I like the Jokic interview as well. I watched that about him caring about he cares about winning. That's what he cares about. That's the only thing he cares about. Which I was like, you know what? I can't argue with you. I still don't like you, but I can't argue with you. That's a good way to think about it.
Jordan saying the NBA is fun this year. Don't like the tanking though. Oh, we were going to talk about this yesterday, but we ran out of time. But the tanking, I don't know if it's worse this year than it is any other year. I think the biggest problem with the tanking this year is, I'm not putting this all on the Utah Jazz, by the way. I think people are stupid who put it all on Utah because every team tanks. Every team that wants to tanks. Like it's been obvious for years. What Utah doing though with the let's sit our best players in the fourth quarter of a close game. That's where you raise the flags of what the fuck are you doing here? Like you can't do that. Like fine, if you want to sit a guy out for the game, again, everybody sits players out for a game. Like it's fine. That's accepted at this point. But literally sitting guys down for the fourth quarter of a close game just raises way too many red flags. And that's kind of what set off all this tanking talk.
It's too obvious what you're doing, especially when you're up in the game going into the fourth quarter, and then you just sit down your best two players, and then you wind up losing. Like that you just gave away the whole game that all these teams have been playing, and that's why it's become this whole big issue. I did actually a short about that on True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment. I was like, I don't think tanking is as big of a deal as a lot of the pundits and ESPN and all these places want it to be. I've heard people be like, "Oh, just get rid of the draft," and I'm just like,
"That's the dumbest idea I've heard."
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it's that serious. It's like, well, you can work it out. These teams, the teams that are lower on the list. I was like, the issue is not the draft. The issue is the odds of the draft. Like, if it was just like the NFL where the worst team gets the number one pick, I think that. Yeah, like maybe tanking would be even more prevalent because then those teams would get awarded for being bad. But most of the bad teams, outside of like a team like Utah, which was actually playing well early on in the season, and now they've just decided that they're going to tank, a lot of the teams that are bad, they are really flawed and bad teams. They're supposed to be where they are. It's when you're purposely trying to lose, then yeah, it becomes a bigger deal than it has to be. But overall, I don't think it's as big of a deal to the point of getting rid of the draft. Like, that is one of the biggest selling points of the NBA as a whole entire league, and that breaks like the context of how the league works as well. So I think that's a bigger problem than a solution to the tanking problem.
I don't know even how you get rid of the draft. I mean, I know how theoretically, but it creates so many more issues that it doesn't feel like it's a viable, and I don't think it is a viable option. I think that people are just stupid in their suggestion of like, oh yeah, get rid of the draft. You get rid of the draft, you get rid of draft picks, you get rid of basically 90% of trades, because then what else are you trading if you have no draft picks to trade? Because you don't do player for player anymore. Like, how rare is it where like only players are involved in a trade? Like, no, it's like, hey, toss in 5 second-round picks, toss in 3 first-round picks for this guy. Like, you don't see like the draft is so much part of these trades because they're effectively lottery tickets. It's like, oh wait, all right, I got to get four first-round picks for Giannis because I'm not going to get a player back as good for Giannis. And other teams aren't going to trade. Like, imagine like there's no draft picks. So the Spurs or the Thunder come to the table for Giannis. It's like, well, we don't want to give up Harper, Dub, Chet, Castle. It's like, okay, well, what do you want to give up? Well, our 7th best guy? Like, well, no, you got to give us one of these other guys. You don't have any draft picks to trade. Yeah. So that's the problem with getting rid of the draft, on top of like it's just a stupid idea to get rid of the draft, because then I've seen people suggest like get rid of the draft and just have like it's open to all teams.
It's like basically like colleges signing high school players. That's what I've heard.
Which is dumb because most of these players are going to go to team like good living situations. Like LA is going to get a bunch of teams. Orlando, like Florida's going to get a bunch of teams. Like, they're going to go to good living situation. Now, there's obviously like there's still a cap involved, so you can't just sign everybody if you're one of these teams. Like, you're going to have to go somewhere else. And I'm sure some players are going to look at it as like, well, LA already has this guy, this guy, this guy. Miami already has this guy, this guy. Like, at least if I go to Utah or if I go to Washington or I go to Sacramento, at least like I'll have opportunity to play there. Like, maybe it's not the best overall situation, but I'm not going to be stuck behind 5 different guys because LA has signed 5 different guys on top of the guys they already have. So certain teams will get certain players just based on like opportunity, but you're still not gonna. It's still just gonna be heavy where the bigger markets are gonna get the best players on stuff. I've seen the suggestion,
and that would honestly be helping like teams like my Lakers, because we've been notoriously awful at drafting. I saw a short about the top 10 best Laker draft picks of the last 10 Laker first round picks, and number 1 was Julius Randle. If Julius Randle is the best player that we have drafted in our last 10 first round picks, we are a notoriously awful drafting team. So it would just be helping teams like myself, like the bigger market teams, like you said.
I've seen the suggestion of you get like a salary slot based on where you finish. So like the worst team can offer rookies, I'm just using easy numbers here. The worst team can offer rookies $10 million. And then the second worst team can offer 9.5. The third worst team can offer 9. Like, it goes down like that. So that still gives
like an allowance.
Yeah, so that still gives the worst teams the best opportunity to get the best players because they could offer them the most money. They could spend the whole 10 million on, the top player if they want, or they can try to divide it and let's get 2 good players for 5 million type of thing. So that seems more feasible than just, hey, everybody gets the same allotment and just, good luck to your smaller market teams and everything.
No holds barred, basically.
But that still runs into the issue of no draft picks, and then that curtails trading. And I don't think they want to curtail trading. Like, trading is such a big part of the league that you kind of need that to keep going. So I don't think it's going to go like that. I've seen a couple of suggestions of, you mentioned, okay, the worst team, it's the NFL. Like, you get your draft pick based on your record. So the worst team gets the top overall pick. It solves tanking in some ways because not every team can be the worst team, right? Like, there can only be only logically, mathematically, only one team could potentially go 0-82. There's no other way 2 teams can go 0-82. So once you
one of these teams gotta win one game.
Yeah. So once you kind of know that, oh, we're not going to get the first overall pick. Well, do we really want the second? Are we just better getting the 5th? Like, maybe you don't tank as much because of that, because only one team can get the first overall pick. I do think you would see so many teams, though, early that know they suck. Like, well, let's solidify our spots as the number 1 overall pick. And that might ruin some of the early regular season games. I think that's a better solution than just ending the draft, mind you. Yeah. I've seen some people say just have flat odds for everybody. So no matter where you finish in the standings, your odds are the same. And that way, there's no reward for just being the worst team in the league. I don't mind that. I like the idea of, I've seen some people say, if you're the worst, you can't pick first. Actually being the worst is not, you automatically fall into 4th, and then the teams below that, they have better odds than you do. Now the thing is, with the draft lottery and the odds and everything, the worst team in the league has fallen every year. It's been a few years. It's been 4 or 5 years since the worst team has gotten the number 1 overall pick. Look at last year.
Yeah.
The Mavericks were a play-in team, and they got the number 1 overall pick.
So how about we do, instead of, how they have the play-in, how about we do a play-in for the number 1 draft pick?
I've seen that, yeah. I've seen that, of do a play-in for the number 1 overall pick. I mean, how does that solve tanking, though, in that you still just want to put yourself in the play-in? I feel like Utah would actually be good at this, because they would be
they would tank and then put all their players in.
Yeah.
For the play-in game.
Yeah, Utah, I actually think this would kind of hurt tanking a little bit not hurt. I think it would help tanking in that, if you're a team, look, the Clippers don't have their first overall or their first round pick this year, but let's pretend that they did for the sake of this hypothetical on top of a hypothetical.
Yeah.
They're not a team that's going far in the playoffs, right? They're probably getting knocked out in the first round. So why wouldn't they just be all right, let's not make the playoffs. Let's get into the lottery playoff. We can beat these fucking teams, and we can get the first overall pick. Why are we going to try to make the playoffs when even a team like Phoenix, now Phoenix might have some self belief and everything, but a team like Phoenix is probably looking at it yeah, we're not good enough to win a championship. I think even they, right, as good as
let's tank to go to the draft play-in.
Yeah, let's go to the draft play-in, and we're good enough to beat these other teams. We can definitely do that. So I think that might actually hurt tanking in that sense, where the middle teams, instead of actually like going for a playoff spot are going to be like, well, no, I'd rather be in the lottery tournament because we can beat those teams.
Okay,
we can't beat the top teams.
Let's say if you're in the actual play-in, so this would be only 11 through 15 would be in the draft play-in. The people that are 9 and 10 that lose in the actual play-in, they can't be in the draft play-in.
Yeah, I get that, but I still think you're gonna see those teams like try to tank out of the play-in though. Now I don't think they're gonna be able to like out tank certain teams.
We gotta make tanking competitive. That's what we need to do, folks. That's basically what I'm trying to get into. And Davion, I gotta ask you because you're one of the good people in the chat. You said you didn't have the Pacers being this bad on their bingo card when they lost their best player in the finals last year?
No, that's fair though. Like they still have Siakam. Nembhard looked really good
I expected them to be one of the worst teams. Like people don't realize how good Halliburton was.
No, I completely get that.
Second half of last season, and then in the playoffs, Halliburton was the engine. Remember, they were barely in the play-in in the first half of the season, or like I think they were like an eighth or seventh seed going into the second half of last season until they had a great second half of their season. Like they were carried to go as far as they did by Halliburton. So I did expect them to be this bad.
I didn't think they would.
It might be a little bit of tanking as well.
I think there's a fair amount of tanking. Now, look, they've also been hit. In fairness, like they've been hit with a ton of injuries. Yeah. Now, if they had their core players for the majority, like Nembhard's been hurt, Obi Toppin has been out most of the season, McConnell's missed a bunch of time. Siakam's been about the only healthy player that they've had. If they've had like an actual healthy squad outside of Halliburton, obviously, because Halliburton we knew was gonna miss from the entire season, then I think they would be a little bit better than they got like 13 wins. Like they're awful. They
lost Halliburton, and Josh G. Yeah, they lost Miles Turner in the off season. They lost two of their like 3-4 best players, and like I expected them to be this bad. And no, Mikey, you can't say, "Oh, the Pacers benefited from a historic Knicks choke twice." When the Knicks actively choke, that's just the Knicks. That's not choking. Choking is when you're actually good and you get to a certain spot and then you lose. The Knicks actively always do this, so you can't say it's a choke job by the Knicks or they benefited from. No, the Pacers were the better team. That's what it came down to.
I think losing Miles Turner is a little bit overstated of how much he meant to the Halliburton. I'm not gonna argue. Halliburton was he's one of the best players in the entire league, and carried the team and like is so much of their offense with everything. So I'm not even going to pretend to argue the Halliburton loss. I think the overall injuries made them this bad. I think if they had a healthy squad outside of Halliburton, obviously you lose Miles Turner. In this Eastern Conference, you're telling me they can't be as good as the Bulls? Like, come on. They can be as good as the Bulls in this Eastern Conference.
Man, y'all sleeping on Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey, the next Bulls superstar.
That's what everybody was saying 2 weeks into the season, and then how did that turn? Not like this roster is not bad. I know they traded Mathurin, but Mathurin was great in the playoffs. Again, Obi Toppin was great. Andrew Nembhard. People need to
realize some people were just great in the playoffs. Gabe Vincent was great in one playoffs. He got paid a whole bunch of money for that.
Sure, but we didn't get to see these guys this season because they've been hurt. So I think if we got to see them in this setting, I think they would have been a better team. Siakam, people were talking Siakam during the playoffs, like, oh man, is he a top 10 player in the East type of thing? And now no one cares about him because he's on this terrible Pacers team. But you can't tell me the fall off is that great for this Indiana team.
Hey.
I will chalk it up to just
this 39 track 2. The fall off is inevitable.
we're also taking away from the coach. Come on. The coach is. Everyone was like, "This is one of the greatest coaches of all time." Like
he's a great coach, and I see Mikey's responses. That's the Knicks, and then there's losing a 9-point lead with like a minute left. However, when you take into the fact that the Pacers did that to more than just the Knicks, they did that to the Cavs, they did that to the Bucks. That is, the Pacers were better than all these teams. If they just did it to the Knicks, then Mikey, you could say it's the Knicks choking. But they did it to every team they faced in the playoffs, even the Thunder in the finals. They did that to them as well. They came back multiple times in the fourth quarter. That's the Knicks, and then that's the Pacers. And the combined forces of them coming together made it into the series that it was. But I'm still standing by it. I think that the Pacers, I always thought that the Pacers were going to be this bad.
USA women's curling just gave up 3 in the 10th. I'm very.
Oh, I thought you were reacting to me what I was saying.
No, I don't care that much.
I was like, damn, me going in with Mikey.
I don't have that strong of opinion about the Indiana Pacers and how bad they are to where I'm that upset over it. I'm way more upset that USA women's curling were up 6-3 in the 10th. Just don't give up 3. And they gave up 3. Oh my gosh. Oh, if we blow this, I'm going to be so mad. I'm so mad. Let's get into Dynamite.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
You have Club Superstar, don't you? Yeah.
I promised the people something. Yeah. It's back, baby. We're doing it early this year. Usually I will wait till the end of the season, but I don't want to get mixed up with that other guy that does his fake Club Superstar because he has millions of dollars to spend on graphics and all of that stuff. Whoever that guy is, I think his name is like Dick Wrong or something like that. I don't know. But anyway,
I didn't realize he did this.
Club Superstar, ladies and gentlemen, All-Star Edition. Heading into the second half of the season, we gotta let the people know who is in Club Superstars because this might all change in the next couple of months before we go into the playoffs. I'm gonna do 3 iterations of Club Superstar. I'm going to give y'all updates on Club Superstar also during the playoffs like I did last year, but I think it's wise to start early here. So Club Superstar, we got the usual suspects. We got the people. I got the entry limit for this year. I'm putting it at an entry limit. It's going to be 12 people. 12 people are allowed in Club Superstar. However, for now, heading into the second half of the season, I only have 10. I only have 10 people in Club Superstar. So that means that there's 2 spots open. And I have 5 people who are on the line to get into Club Superstar. I call them on the cuffs. I have someone that I think can about to make the line. And I have a couple of people that are out the club or maybe about to go out the club. All right, so Club Superstar 2026, February 2026 edition. Here we go. Club Superstar. We got, of course, sitting in the MVP section of Club Superstar. We got Nikola Jokic, of course, MVP, putting up massive numbers. Nuggets look like a championship contender. He's gonna be here for a while. He's not leaving. He's getting bottle service and everything. We got Shai Gilgeous.
Does he want to be in the club? Though I feel like he sends like a stand-in. Yeah,
he's asked to leave like a bunch of times where we're like, nope, you gotta stay there.
Yeah, I feel like he sends a stand-in.
SGA is of course here. He's in the MVP section along with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Steph Curry is still here. I was like, dude, you got family to go to, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna stay here. Still putting up great numbers, so he's staying here. KD, he's on his phone the whole time, the whole night in the club, but he's still here. He's still in MVP section. I've had multiple people of the young people downstairs from Club Superstar telling me that this guy should not even still be here, but apparently he still is. LeBron James is still in MVP section in Club Superstar, but I think we're gonna We're gonna knock him to the curve. He might make it until retirement. Retirement might be the thing that finally gets him out of Club Superstar. It seems more than anything. All right. So that's our MVP section. We still got our same six that we had last season in the MVP section. Then we got in the second floor of Club Superstar, we got the guys who are just waiting to get that MVP or have been here for a while, have a you know, they got a card. They got a card that we stamp every time they come into Club Superstar. So we got Luka Doncic, we got Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, he was an older member of Club Superstar. I think last year when I did Club Superstar, we didn't even let him into the club because I was being stingy, but he reminded everybody during All-Star Weekend that he still belongs in Club Superstar. And then we got the first floor. These are the people that just came into the club. They are still enjoying drinks at the bar. They're flirting with the bartender. This guy's probably getting one of the bartenders pregnant. Anthony Edwards is still here in Club Superstar. I said this last year. Him beating these legends, the legends that are in Club Superstar, is all comfortable in the MVP section. The fact that he's beaten most of them, Anthony Edwards has a deserved spot in Club Superstar, the Kobe Bryant winner for All-Star Weekend. And speaking of All-Star Weekend, we got a new entry into Club Superstar because he made me look right. He made me into a certified NBA analyst. I think I'm early to the game because usually y'all know me. I set the rules last year. I was like, you got to do something in the playoffs to get into Club Superstar. You got to get far into the playoffs. This guy's on the line that's done way more in the playoffs than this guy. But the way that he is a game changer, the way that he is a whole mindset changer, and how he just has everything written in the stars to be not only Club Superstar, but the face of the franchise, face of the league. Victor Wembanyama, welcome to Club Superstar. He's here. Like we got to just accept it. Maybe I'm a little bit early to the game. Maybe a bunch of people will be like, oh my God, it's way too early for this. But nah, Wemby, he deserves to be in Club Superstar. Now we got on the cups. These are people, and last year what we did, we had a couple of people who was on the line that got in. So we got to talk about the people that are out the club, like our main man, Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, you're injured. You're on the injured reserve club. So we got to pitch you over there. Also on the line, who's very close, Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks. He's almost got his ID in the bouncer's hands. Right behind him is Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is right there to get into the club. And we got Jaylen Brown, we got Donovan Mitchell, and we got Tyrese Maxey. Those are the guys that are on the line to get into Club Superstar. We got to see what they do second half of the season as well as into the playoffs. And we'll see if they're in the club. And then finally, about to make the line, maybe this is a little bit early for some of y'all, Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves might be about to make the line. And yes, that is Laker bias on Club Superstar. But that is Club Superstar, February 2026.
I feel like you're trolling with Austin Reeves.
Maybe a little bit, but
I'm locked in on this women's curling game. Apparently, we got to talk about Dynamite. AEW Dynamite happened. Swerve Strickland, he heard our complaints last week of he's not dangerous, and he's like, all right, I'm going to show you guys how dangerous I can be. So I guess you're welcome. We did this, SP3. I'm giving us all the credit for this. For saying we
set the match, and then Jimmy Macaram set it on fire on AE Ramble. I think that TK was watching in the weeds, and then he tuned into AE Ramble. He was like, "Oh, he's not dangerous. Oh, he's not dangerous. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. I'm going to prove that we had this all in mind. It was all from the start. This is what we envisioned. But man, we got to talk about this matchup. This Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland match, and I am someone that was of high praise of Kyle Fletcher and Tommaso Ciampa last week. Thought that was a fantastic matchup. Amazing performance by Ciampa, who turned back the clock to 2018, black and gold. I think Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland was actually better. I think that is now the new bar for AEW match of the year. Like, it was so good that I rewatched it like this morning, Jeremy, because I was like, maybe I was a little bit tired. Remember yesterday I was on the show and I was like, only got 3 hours of sleep. I never took a nap, so I was on 3 hours of sleep. The show didn't end until like 3:15 a.m. So I was like, maybe I don't know. Maybe I was bugging. Maybe it wasn't as good as I remember. I rewatched it. Oh my God, the Kenny Omega, he's still one of the very best wrestlers in the world today. And he has gotten way better because Kenny Omega really relied upon his athleticism and also his ability to craft these ebbs and flows and these escalatings, like twists and turns of his matches. If you go back to the Kazuchika Okada series and New Japan Pro Wrestling, if you go to the dangerous levels that Kenny Omega would do with the violent head drops and gruesome strikes that he would have with the likes of like Tetsuya Naito or Kota Ibushi, then he would show a lot of his like storytelling and his strong psychology in the matches with like Hiroshi Tanahashi, or even if you go to his AEW era with like Hangman Adam Page and the match they had at Full Gear 2021, or Bryan Danielson at Grand Slam 2021. This is like amalgamation of all of these things, all of the stuff that makes Kenny Omega an all-time great, one of the greatest pro wrestlers of all time. You are seeing it in its element this year and last year. Like, he just, psychology wise, his selling is absolutely phenomenal. He might be the best seller in the game. The way that he sold that jaw in the closing moments, Jeremy, everything he did, he just kept doing. I really believe that his jaw had to be broken because he kept doing it. I was like, this man gets it. This man just gets it. He is selling that jaw like it is the last thing he has to do after every single move. V-trigger. Go back to the jaw. Oh, my jaw hurts. Poison Rana. Oh, my jaw hurts. Let me go for the V trigger. And Swerve and commentary didn't even point it out. I thought commentary was really good during the matchup, but Swerve, to get out of that last One Ring Angel, he pulled on the jaw and he was selling it again. Oh, the selling was absolutely superb from Kenny Omega with the selling of the draw after he got slingshot into the exposed turnbuckle. But even like little stuff, like when he slips off of the barricade early in the matchup, when he's about to do the moonsault and he slips off it, he doesn't just, oh, let me still do the move I was supposed to do. No, he chops him and he makes sure he steps back a little bit and then he does it. I was like, Kenny Omega just gets it. He gets the little things, the little details of his matches. It is just art. It's artistic. He is just an artist in the ring and he's painting a portrait. And this might have been Swerve Strickland's most inspired work since like the Bryan Danielson matchup at Wembley Stadium, or some of his like Hangman Adam Page matches in 2024 and 2023. This was him in his element, and then the subtle way they set up the post-match angle, which I'm saying that this match in the ring from bell to bell, it's one of the best matches of the year so far. Like, I think, you know, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Okada, somebody's going to have to pull out the woodworks. It's probably going to take Omega and Ospreay and Wembley Stadium to be on that level to break the scale in that type of way. But I think that this is just as good or maybe slightly better than Yota Tsuji versus Konosuke Takeshita, which I had set at number 2 best match of the year. This might have beaten it. I don't know. I gotta watch Tsuji and Takeshita again, but this was just artistically profound. It was just on another level. Like the immaculate chemistry that these two guys had, like even the struggle on the apron bump when they do he tries to do the vertebreaker and Omega slips out of it, and then he fights to get the Snapdragon on the apron. He has to hit him 3 times, hits the Snapdragon, then Swerve with the slight sell, and then he gets up, but he's still selling the Snapdragon on the apron, and then the struggle to try to do the Snapdragon and the German off the apron to the floor, and then he drops down and Swerve lands on his feet, and Swerve just goes right into the brain buster on the floor. I was just like, this is just so, like, they thought of everything. They just thought of the little things that's going to make this match truly special. This was one of the greatest Dynamite main events of all time, in my opinion. Like, maybe I'm early to the game, but I watched it twice now, and I really love this matchup. It was so good on every single level that you need. Selling, psychology, hard-hitting physicality. The intensity was off the charts. The crowd was amazing throughout the whole matchup. The ref bump, the subtle way that Swerve did it, where he's selling the arm. He's like, check my arm, and then he pulls Aubrey in the way. One of the best ref bumps I've seen in quite some time, and you're thinking the ref bump is just going to set up one of these guys getting protected in there, but no, Swerve beat Omega pretty clean. He beat him clean as hell. Like, oh man, just amazing stuff. Incredible matchup. And then the post-match angle was absolutely phenomenal. And it's what AEW needed. We needed Swerve Strickland to actually be the most dangerous man in AEW. And my God, was he that with that post-match angle, and just him hanging Omega, then putting him through the table with the vertebreaker. Amazing stuff.
Before I give my thoughts, we have a run-in, a special guest from FSW, Future Stars of Wrestling. The promoter, Joe DeFalco, is joining us. How you doing, Joe?
Good. How you been?
Hey, Joe.
Good. What brings you here today?
Well, I just solidified some big news. Mania week, Killer Cross and myself have gotten together, and we're going to be doing a couple events Mania week at our new residency at the Luxor at the HyperX Arena. And we're going to be doing a Mecca event and a Natural Born Killers event. So I'm like, hey, it's a pretty big deal. You know, Killer Cross is going to be in town, and he's really not just a talent on the show. He's actually going to be my partner in this event. And, you know, we first did Natural Born Killers in 2019 when we came up with this idea. He was a big UWFI fan and thought we could make something work. And UFC was doing a Hall of Fame ceremony. So we ended up having Cross fight Dan Severn. Frank Mir was on the show. The late Stephan Bonner was on the show. We had Simon Gotch, Austin Aries. And then at the end of the night, after Cross fought Severn, John Moxley showed up. And I didn't know Moxley was going to be there till about 30 minutes before the show. Cross wouldn't tell me. And he's like, oh, I got somebody big. And with the UFC stuff going on, I thought it was going to be like a Chuck Liddell or a Tito Ortiz. And all of a sudden, my kid comes back. He's like, did you see who it is? And I'm like, Chuck Liddell? Tito? He's like, no, it's Moxley. And it was just after Moxley left, and he lived in Vegas, and Cross made the connection. And we had sold out the little FSW arena. We had like 275 people jam-packed, no guardrails. And it was a very, very successful event. And now that Kevin is free from everything, he hit me up a few weeks ago, and we put our heads together, and we have I'm going to tell you, the most fantastic venue, that HyperX. It's as good as any venue you're going to see. And they're giving us pretty much carte blanche. We got 6 shows going on there, Mania week. And doing a Mecca, which is always the biggest names in professional wrestling. And I already got, you know, we're talking to some real big names for the Natural Born Killer show. You know, we're hoping to make it big. We have some stalwarts that we've used in the past, like Bad Dude Tito and Simon Gotch. But, you know, we want to hit a home run. It's like this is the first event that Cross, who's a Vegas guy, he's going to be in Mania. And, I'm trying to get Kevin to hang out on the bridge by Allegiant, like the Pied Piper, and say, come on down, because it's literally a 5-minute walk from Allegiant Stadium. So we're really excited to be working with Cross on these two events, and we think we could make something special here in Vegas.
Nice. Yeah. So, I mean, you don't have to spoil anything else. We appreciate you jumping on and doing this announcement. Do we have any potential matches lined up or anything like that?
We're talking to some big names, and it's like we haven't talked to anybody yet. We just solidified it yesterday, but there's people that are going to be here. Matt Riddle's going to be at our arena for an event on Wednesday. How would we not want to get a Matt Riddle on the show? A Jonathan Gresham, a Baron Corbin, Shayna Baszler. Kevin's got the Rolodex of people. We want, legit. I hit up King Mo, who I'm friendly with, who trained with us. And he was hitting me up a couple weeks ago because his daughter's looking to train and she lives in Vegas. So, we're trying to put all our heads together and see, what we can make happen, in this situation, because everybody's going to be in Vegas. We don't want it to be just like Bloodsport. They got their own niche. But we did this 8 years ago. So it isn't like, hey, we're just going to steal this idea. It's like, this is Killer Cross, who's got a huge following, and he'll be at WrestleCon all week. And I really believe we can, sell out the HyperX for this event. And Kevin was always really, really passionate about the Natural Born Killers thing. So it's like, hopefully in the next week, like I said, I got Gotcha ready. I got Bad Dude Tito. And those are people I've dealt with for a long time. But now it's like, okay, let's get out there and actually see, who's available. Even in the Cain Velasquez, was at our school, when he was first training with Disco Inferno and Cross. Like, I know that's a shot in the dark, but it's like, man, how great would it be to get him on the show? You know what I mean? And it's like, my mind's open to just about anybody. And we want to make this a huge special event. And especially with Kevin being behind this, he knows he has a big fan following. And I think we could make this pretty huge. GCW kind of owns that secondary market with the collective. But, man, we got 17 shows booked between our FSW arena and the HyperX. I'm going to be running around crazy that week. So, but these are our marquee events. So we're only doing 2 out of the 17. So, I'm going to be on the horn all day. I'm trying to hopefully get some major announcements within, this weekend.
All right. We look forward to that. We're going to have to get Cross on here to talk to him about that
sure.
And everything else going on. We appreciate you joining us, Joe. Anything else you want to mention here?
No, we got our regular stuff. We got a residency on the Strip. And if you could take a look at those pictures from New Year's resolution, man, this venue is A++. And, we did good numbers for them and they love us. We're doing like a WWE 2K event. We're trying to work with these guys as much as possible. So, head over to the Luxor and check out the HyperX Arena, because these guys have been above and beyond. It's the only time I've ever had anybody we've worked with that actually attempted to try to help us get business, instead of just give me our money and we'll see you later. So this place is just great.
Sorry, I was looking at a message. Well, we look forward to everything going on with WrestleMania week. I know last year you guys did it up big with everything, and you had a great event last year, and then the Chris Bay event as well. So I know if you're in Vegas, FSW is one of the premier place out in Vegas to check out when it comes to wrestling. So I wish you guys the best this year when it comes to everything with
absolutely. You were also doing the WWE ID event at the HyperX. So
yes, I remember that. Good stuff.
So yeah, I appreciate you giving me 5 minutes.
No problem. You're welcome anytime here, Joe. Yeah, I saw you pop up, and we were in the middle of basketball talk.
Right?
And...
Yeah. So like, hey, did they change the schedule? I'm like, oh, I know he said 8:30. It was like 8:20. I'm like, he's talking about. I'm reading about Kevin Durant and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah, this show is half basketball half the time. So. Yeah, you just happened to come in right when we were talking about basketball. I was gonna send you a message, but you're welcome to come back here if you would like to. So I appreciate you popping back up.
You know, I'd love to talk about the Nets, but they suck. So it's like they've sucked for years now. I was always a big Nets fan.
They might be getting a little bit better. I mean, young players coming, and Mike Porter Jr. looks good, so you got him at least.
You know, I was big on them when they got swept by the Lakers with Jason Kidd back in the day. So
2002, yeah.
That's where Kevin Durant's downfall started. The Nets.
Yeah, it's like that. I got the Nets. I got the Mets. You know, I got all these teams that are just like you shake your head.
Are you a Jets? Are you Jets as well? Nets,
no,
Mets,
no.
Jets. Okay.
In football, it's whoever I like. I buy the jersey, so I'm a quarterback guy. So it's like Doug Flutie was my guy, and you know I like Michael Vick. So I would root for the teams that the quarterbacks that I liked that I played. So.
Gotcha. Well, we appreciate you, Joe. And you're welcome anytime to pop on. I appreciate you still using the link. It's been like a year since we had you on.
Yeah, I checked it. I'm like, hey, it's 8:30. I think that's around the time. I'm going to click it and see if it works.
It still works. It hasn't changed since we set everything up, so it still works. I'll message you here shortly, and we'll try to get some people on from the show and do some more promotion with everything.
Yeah, and then, you know, I'll send you messages like, hey, once we get some names, you know, we'll pop it up.
For sure.
And, you know, hopefully we can get some stuff going in the next couple of days.
Cool. All right. Appreciate you, Joe.
All right. Later.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Peace.
There you go. Joe DeFalco making a surprise appearance here. Yeah, he popped up in the middle of Club Superstar.
I saw him. I ran through Club Superstar a little bit faster.
I was gonna bring him on and like now in Club Superstar and then bring him on, but then he went away.
He's like, I had this segue set up and everything.
Yeah, I did. Okay. By the way, if you saw my reaction during that, USA pulled it out. It was close, man. The final stone, it was curling through the house and went through the button a little bit too much, and it looked like it was gonna go through the 8 into the 12, but it stuck around in the 8 just enough to beat out Switzerland. So I still can't believe they blew that in the 10th, but they held on. All right, I guess it's more holding on. It wasn't really a comeback. They were up 3, and then they lost it, and then they won. So I can't really call that a comeback, but they got it, and they are advancing to the semifinals. But I was
happy for you, Jeremy.
I was there. I'll be watching that tomorrow. I got to see what time the games are tomorrow. All right, Swerve and Kenny Omega. I love this match. I'm with you on everything about this match. I'm even with you on the Kenny selling the jaw and the closing stretch and everything. Here's my complaint. I didn't need that closing stretch. That was it insisted upon itself closing stretch. I would have been much happier with this match if after he guillotined him on the turnbuckle and he hurt his jaw, he hit a stomp. And then he should have done a house call after that. Like Kenny gets up, like holding his jaw, and Aubrey's like coming to, or the new referee comes down. The new referee comes down. Kenny's like trying to get up, holding his jaw. House call, end the match right there. That's what I would have done here. Instead, they did the double stomp, and then you run down, then kick out, and then let's do a bunch of reversals and everything. Like, just put Swerve over bigger. With he got him with the ref was out, he murked this man and he beat him, and then you're gonna do the beatdown after the match. I don't need Kenny Omega, look how much fighting spirit he has. I know Kenny Omega has fighting spirit. I don't need it in this, especially when the whole goal is to put Swerve over. This is not about Kenny Omega and showing fighting spirit and everything. This is about making Swerve a killer. And he's more of a killer if
Did you freeze?
Okay. Don't get me wrong. Sequence was great. Don't get me wrong. Sequence was great. Kenny holding the selling with everything about it was great. I'm not saying any of it was bad or anything like that. I am saying I didn't need it, and that felt like a let's just do Kenny Omega and Swerve. Let's just do this cool, like hot closing sequence because that's what Kenny Omega and Swerve would do instead of put the man down.
Then you food for you. It's your baby food.
It's my baby
Harlem
food?
boos the ending.
No, she's booing you. She's like, give him this baby food because he's whining about Kenny Omega shining for a bit. Like, come on, man.
He shined all match.
If you go straight to the finish, you don't get any of the fantastic selling from Kenny Omega. You don't get that great facial expression from Swerve when he kicks out of the Swerve Stomp. And the Swerve Stomp, everybody and their mama kicks out of the Swerve Stomp. So I
didn't want him to do the Swerve Stomp. I said change it.
But also, and everybody kicks out of the house call as well. So
okay, so don't. He hurt his jaw. Like, actually make it mean something.
Say hi to Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Harlem.
There's nothing in there.
I can take it.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. All right. That's your food.
Here comes the airplane. Don't eat it.
Is it good?
The airplane.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
All right. Thank you. I see. I eat it. That was it. No, I spit it out. All right. No. I don't need any more.
No more.
That's fine. No, I'm good. Okay. All right. I love you. Thank you.
This is her show. We're just here.
You're knocking down the mic. All right. Who did you like, Kenny Omega or Swerve Strickland?
Strickland.
No, okay. She likes Swerve Strickland. There you go. All right. Thank you. Appreciate you.
They keep singing, where's on now?
But no, you don't get any of the good. I can't. I'm just gonna try to rebound off that. But you don't get any of the great stuff that I talked about with the selling of the jaw. You don't get Swerve's great facial expression when he kicks out of the Swerve Stomp, and plus it doesn't look like as clean of a finish. You don't get like the subversion of the finish where you could have went directly into the new referee comes out, counts to 1, 2, 3, and Swerve wins. It makes it seem like, oh, Swerve only got the win because he pulled the referee in the way, where in the way that they did it, Swerve was able to look strong in the win. It put over Swerve more by the finish that they had, instead of if they went with what you wanted of him slingshotting him into the turnbuckle, which could be seen as a cheating move, and it got a lot of heat for him. Instead, he gets to hit the house call out of nowhere, hit the big pressure, 1, 2, 3. It looks like more of a cleaner finish, which makes the post-match even more shocking, because it was like, oh, I thought he did that by accident, because this is why I said the commentary added a lot to this matchup, mainly because Bryan Danielson he's just one of us watching wrestling a lot of times. Like his ability to just sell everything like a genuine wrestling fan, it just adds to these matches, and it added so much to this matchup. So I firmly disagree. I felt like the last extra couple of minutes of the matchup, it gave it a stronger ending than him just doing the slingshot into the turnbuckle and doing a house call or doing a Swerve Stomp to get the win right after the referee bump.
Would have done the double stomp, and then I would have done the house call, and you still do the same post-match. It's still a clean victory to me.
No,
because
he needed to pull the referee in the way. At least you gave Omega one last stand where he was able to look strong.
Right, that's what this was in service of. It was in service of giving Kenny Omega, oh, look, Kenny Omega is still strong, one last stand and stuff. I didn't need that. This should not have been in service of doing that for Kenny Omega. This should have been in service of making Swerve look like this ruthless killer with everything. And if you do the finish the way I kind of laid it out, and then you still do the post-match attack, which that was the whole point of this, right? The whole point was to make Swerve be the most dangerous. This makes him look like more of the most dangerous. Doing we kicked out, and let me do my shock face that everyone does, and you saying like, well, everybody kicks out.
Hey, he sold it well.
Stuff.
He sold it. He sold it well because he did like you. He thought that was the finish, and he sold it like, oh my god, what do I have to do to beat this man?
Why are people like, is to make Kenny look weak? No one thinks Kenny Omega comes out of this looking weaker if he loses like this. No one says, oh man, they buried Kenny Omega because they didn't do this closing stretch here. No one's thinking that. My whole point is the service should have been more on Swerve and less on 50-50 and less of, and I don't think it was 50-50. I was going to say it wasn't 50-50, but by doing the whole Kenny thing, you're getting it closer to 50-50 than if you just do it how I laid it out of all on Swerve. That was my point there. That's it. Yes, I want violence over athleticism. That's also factual. Just kill the man. I don't need to see your closing sequence. Not nonsense on there. Now, Kenny Omega was great. The closing sequence was great. His selling was great. I'm not taking anything away from the actual closing sequence and what they did. I'm simply saying this felt like let's insist upon ourselves.
Nah, the closing sequence is what puts this over the top because we get all the jaw selling. The jaw selling. I'm sorry, that's the thing that got me to be like, oh no, this is up there. This is one of the best matches of the year overall. Not just like I said last week. I was giving Fletcher and Ciampa all the praise of being the AEW match of the year so far. This was slightly better because of the selling down the stretch, the selling and the struggle throughout the different big moments of the matchup as well. Even the early stuff with the attention to detail that they were doing, it all makes it into not only one of the best matches of this year so far, but one of the best Dynamite matches of all time.
So it would have been a far worse match if it just ended when I said it should have ended.
It doesn't go over that peak point.
Yeah, see, this is
greatest Dynamite main events of all time.
This is the problem. Is it was, let's do a 6-star match instead of a 5.5-star that enhances.
No.
Let's appeal to Dave's scale instead of actually doing a better story of Swerve being a killer out here. They care about the star ratings and not the story.
Stop it, Skip. You're out here being like LeBron got one more rebound. Stop it, Skip.
Now I'm trolling with that stuff, but I stand by my point of this is not the fact that I realize my argument fell apart. This is my argument. I get most people are disagreeing with me. That's fine. I don't care that you disagree with me.
I respect you when you stand by it when nobody agrees.
No, why
people agree?
Yeah, why am I gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, like no, I didn't need it. That's my whole point. I didn't need it. Do I think like it fully took away from the match? Do I hate the match because it happened? No, I still think I'm with you. It's one of the greatest matches in Dynamite history. Maybe it is if I really think about it. I liked Ciampa and Fletcher better, honestly, and maybe the closing stretch had something to do with it. I thought it fit more, the closing stretch in that match compared to this match.
I'm a stickler for storytelling over moves, so that's why I'm gonna for right now I'm gonna say I think Swerve and Omega was slightly, ever so slightly better than Fletcher and Ciampa.
Okay, that's fine if people feel that way. I'm not trying to take anything away from the match. Personally, I would have put Swerve over stronger with the character work of being this most dangerous and just putting down Omega in that manner.
And that final kick out is what adds to the post match. It's all that resentment, all that jealousy. He couldn't just beat Omega with the same way he's beaten people in the past, with the same way he beat Samoa Joe to become the AEW World Champion. So Kenny Omega is that much better. It was all of that coming into his head. The fact that, oh, I just beat him. I pretty much beat him clean, but maybe I don't beat him if I don't pull the ref in front of me. Maybe I don't beat him if I don't slingshot him into the exposed turnbuckle. Like all of that adds to the post match. It all got to Swerve, and it all boiled over, and it just came out in utter violence, in him becoming the most dangerous man. Everything that he self-proclaimed himself to be, all of that adds to it. And that final kick out is the edge point. You could see the kind of like the mind kind of trickling away and just being like, oh my God, I don't have enough. I'm not better than him. That's the reaction that he gave. It wasn't the over the top, oh my God, near fall like we've seen in other near falls of a Becky Lynch matchup. No offense to the Go, but it's not like that. It was really a turning point of Swerve becoming the heel that he would become just a few minutes later.
But that's all still there because he still pulled the ref in the way. He still used that. He can still get to the
If he pulls the ref in the way, hits a house call, slingshots him in the turnbuckle, hits the stomp, why does he have to beat him up afterwards? Because
he's the most dangerous.
That he won. No, the kick out is what dictates the post match. The kick out is him realizing
the kick out proved
he needed even more. He needed even more than that. He needed even more than just pulling the ref in the way and the exposed turnbuckle to get the way. He needed even more because Kenny Omega is that much better than him.
He could have reached the same point without all of that, though.
No.
Like, I understand your logic
it's
of
informed.
It reaches that point because this is what happened, but you can apply the same logic if it still plays out the same way as like, oh, he did the post match because he still knows he's not better than Swerve. Or than Omega. He still knows that he had to do all that, and that's how he had to beat him. If he didn't do all that, would he have won? Who knows? But he believes that he wouldn't. That's why he had to put him down. So it still applies if you go the direction I say. You can still come to the same conclusion there. You're making it the kick out is the breaking point. Okay, I accept that. You can still get to that breaking point again in his head without the kick out of he did all of that, he beat him.
I don't still hit the breaking point. To that on the same show. If he just beats him the way that you want him to, because he got the job done. He didn't need anything extra. There wasn't anything extra to it. There wasn't any last stand. It was kind of easy. It was just, I just had to pull the referee in front of the V trigger and then I can get the job done. Oh, that's fine.
The extra is he just sees Kenny moving and he's like, this man's not down. He's not done. Like, I didn't finish the job here. Okay, I beat him through what means that I beat him. This man is still moving. All right, like, I'm going to beat the shit out of him some more.
No, it's not the same.
Okay. All right. That's fine. If you're new to AEW, you definitely needed that kick out. No one knew watching this show. It's all the same. It's the same 500,000 people.
I needed this. Yeah, he said it was kind of a full circle thing, whereas he said that in the opening promo with them doing the Collision Open of him saying, I need this. Basically, he became, and last night Swerve became Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 17. I need this. I think more than you can ever believe, Rock.
I think AEW fans, I'm gonna generalize every AEW fan now. I think AEW fans don't mind it this way because this was the expectation of like, oh, if Swerve just won like this, that's disappointing. Like, the AEW fans need that closing sequence. They're so conditioned for that closing sequence, and that's why they love that closing sequence. Where if they had just done it the way I said it, it would have been something different. You mentioned like everyone kicks out of the house. Yeah, so don't have them kick out of the house call. Actually put it over as a good, especially after he gets his jaw jacked on the turnbuckle there. Make the house call mean something on there.
Kenny was keeping his jaw together. He was keeping, that's why he kept selling it. He was keeping his jaw together. And what was the last thing that took his jaw and left it in the front row? It was that second house call. The first, remember, he misses the next time he tries to go for the house call. He needed that second house call to knock his jaw into the crowd.
Jeremy was hoping for a DQ, so I kind of thought they were going to a DQ in the ref bump. I was like, oh shit, are we going to get a DQ?
Me too. I thought they were just going to start brawling, and then the referees come out, and then that's it. That's how we set up the pay-per-view, but no. I prefer this, and we got to bring up the news that Sean Ross Sapp reported on Fightful Select that it is confirmed. I was saying it all week. Everybody was taking, Dave with his report. We talked about it last week that Kenny Omega was doing the Capcom video game convention in Japan, and he wouldn't be available for Revolution. I was like, considering the week that Dave had, I can't take that. I got to take that with a whole load of salt. I need a whole bowl of salt to put on that. I'll wait till something else confirms it. And not only did Sean confirm it with his report that yes, Omega let AEW know that he had a scheduling conflict a couple of months back and that he probably wouldn't be available to wrestle at Revolution, but I think this angle also informed that he's going to be out for Revolution. And yeah, I think this was this fit of the Kenny Omega just getting beat down. It seems to be something that happens like every 3 to 6 months on AEW television. Is Omega takes one of these brutal beatdowns so he can take off for a couple of weeks.
One, yes, every wrestling company should book to my sensibility over everyone else. Two, you're gonna legitimately, not just USB3. You're going to say like the match was much worse without the closing sequence. No one's going to, if the match ended the way I've set it up here, no one's going to be like, what it actually really needed was, I wish Kenny had kicked out and they'd done another 5 minutes of, I know it wasn't that long, but they'd done another 5 minutes of reversals and everything. Man, the match sucked because it didn't have that. No one's going to say that. So just like I'm saying, like it did, I don't think like the match fully sucked because it did have it. That's all. So everyone still would have been like, this is one of the greatest matches ever. Oh, so fantastic. And again, you would have put more on Swerve. You'd be like, I can't believe Swerve did all that, and that's how he won. Get heat on Swerve, because they booed the shit out of him when he did I was like, oh, good. This is good heat right here when they did that. And that was another reason why I didn't love the closing sequence. Like, you had the heat right there, and it's like, let's do kickouts and closing and reversals and all this stuff. Like, no, just get the heat.
It's an ebb and flow. You got to bring them. You get the heat, and you get the hope spot where the fans are like, oh my God, Kenny might do it. And then Swerve snuffs it out, hits the big pressure, and everybody's like, oh, okay, Swerve won. And then he gets all the heat back in the post-match, which made that even more informed. Him wrapping around the chain, him bullying Prince Nana, hanging him in the same fashion that Hangman Adam Page has hung Jon Moxley before in the Texas Death matchup, and then putting him through the table. And Brian, so the post-match angle goes up a notch, that's a 5-star angle where Brian's just like, you don't have to do this. You proved your point. You don't have to do this, Swerve.
Brian should have fucking punched him, honestly.
No, I love, this is why I was like, I gotta even give credit to the people, non-Brian members of the commentary team, because you heard Excalibur being like, don't do anything, Brian. Don't do anything.
He should have punched him too.
He's like, Brian, you can't do anything. He's like, don't get involved. Oh man, it was so good. And I needed this. This is what we needed. We needed Swerve to really become the most dangerous man in AEW again. Thank you, Tony, for watching In the Weeds.
This is the meanest thing anybody's ever said to me, is calling me Bully Ray.
Oh, Shivani. It's rare. Shivani. I'll give Shivani credit for once. I said non-Brian members of the commentary team. I actually gave them credit. They were good.
I love the post-match angle. I'm glad that Swerve is actually the most dangerous person. And again, you can thank us for that, honestly. Well, we're taking all the credit for that.
We'll take 3-way credit. Myself, Jeremy, we lit the fire, and then Jimmy Macaram disembodied it. He pulled all the body pieces apart and then burned that as well. What is this? This is
Big bird.
Oh,
okay. Very nicely done. This
yeah.
is good job.
We cut pink paper, put it with gluconate eyes,
Uh-huh.
draw a mouth,
Yeah.
put some hands, put some feet, and bunny ears.
Oh, look at all of that.
Looks like something you watch Amazing World of Gumball. Looks like something out of
I can
Amazing World of Gumball.
I can see that. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a sunny bunny. Is it a sunny bunny?
Sunny
Yeah.
Bunny.
Yep. It's a sunny bunny. There we go. Very well done. You want to put it on the wall? What? Oh, okay.
Let's hold it.
Hold it up for you.
It's a sunny bunny.
That's very good, Harlem.
I love this. It's like you.
I love her excitement.
It's adorable.
She's so excited about it. It's great.
She said it's adorable.
Yeah, I respect it.
Oh, she's awesome. No, I love it.
Thank you. I'm Two Links. I accept your apology.
It's like I'm not no damn Billy Ray.
MCAP saying do a poll on what? On the match? Everybody's gonna disagree with me, so I already know the answer to that poll. You guys have made this very clear. That's a waste of here. I have a poll.
Don't
question.
worry. I'm gonna have to hear this argument again with Jimmy Macaram in like an hour. He's gonna probably agree with you. Be like, yeah, no, I didn't like the closing stretch. They could have, but no, knowing him, it was to service Swerve looking stronger. So he'll probably agree with me that Omega should look strong at the end because he's more.
There, I put a poll question up for everybody if you would like to vote on the poll question. Oh, I apologize for finish. I actually called it. That is the poll question. Maybe he saw it firsthand.
Poll on rappers.
Just because Joel is gone doesn't mean you have to become him. Joel hates everything. I didn't hate this. I said it was very well done. I said it was good. I'm just saying I would have preferred something different. They did this. I'm not gonna act like it was the worst thing in the world. As I typed it as it puffed up. Joel's disingenuous with his takes.
Exactly.
I'm not.
Jeremy actually feels.
Yeah, Joel will say something and then just be like, whatever. Like, I'll defend it. Obviously, at the end of the day, I really don't care. Everyone knows that. Somebody credited us of like, this is what good arguments look like. Like, you both make your points. You both make a strong opinion, and all right, we move on. Like, I don't take anything SP3 says personally on this stuff. So it's wrestling. We're arguing about a 3-minute stretch on a 2-hour and 20-minute show
out of a 20-minute match.
Yeah.
Does it really matter at the end of the day? We're probably both right, guys. But I want to know
it's all personal preference too. Like, all right, people enjoyed the closing stretch. Like, I enjoyed the closing stretch. I just would have done it differently. That's all.
It insisted upon itself.
It did insist upon itself.
What did that even mean? It's like when people are arguing. I saw what was it? RDC World. They did their usual video on the J. Cole album, and he was listening to it in the car. He's listening to one of his tracks, and he's like bopping his head, and his friend is not. He's like, "You're not gonna bop your head to this? How you not gonna bop your head to this?" He was like, "I don't know, man. It just sonically doesn't fit with me." He was like, sonically, he was like, "What does sonically mean?"
That is true. I just yell at Joel, and he gets mad at me because I'm just louder than him.
Joe can't yell.
No, I know Joel won't like go up a level, so I just do that as a bit to just yell at him. I also think Joel.
I do the same thing when I come on here to disagree with Joel. He always gets more upset with me.
I also think Joel. No, I love Joel. I also think like when he digs in on something, like I legitimately disagree with his points. Like I legitimately think his points are stupid. Like the whole women's title stuff, like I legitimately think it's like the dumbest thing in the world. While here, like again, I don't even disagree with like the finish that they did. I would have just simply done it differently. It's to take nothing away from what they actually did though. So that's why I can't argue it. Like when Joel makes a point, like I legitimately think like this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and that's why I have to yell at him.
At least you're honest about it. You don't second guess yourself like someone did on this show. Hangman Adam Page. Definitely. I thought that was the best part of the promo. Was after the promo when Hangman stopped and he was like, "What did I just do?"
Yeah.
that was a human moment of, oh damn, I done fucked up. But I've seen a lot of people polarized on this segment. What did you think about Hangman Adam Page going full Cody and putting his AEW World Title future on the line against MJF at Revolution?
I'm polarized on this segment because they made it confusing. Like that's why I thought the first half of it was good. When MJF is like, I hate the way you walk, I hate the way you talk, I hate the way you dress, I hate the bitches you fuck because they confuse themselves with real women. And notice I said, it's not just me. I'm with the culture feeling.
MJF was great. He was great here.
Yeah.
He was great.
I thought that was great. I thought Hangman was great of like, I see you in me because we both need this world title. I thought all of that was like good. But then they confused it of, all right, well, I need a stipulation. And, we talked about them doing potentially a Texas death match because it needs to be some type of like big blow-off match. Like, all right, it makes sense you want to do a stipulation there. But Hangman's like, we need to do a stipulation. And MJF is like, oh, the crowd's chanting for Texas death match. Like, we're not going to do that. And Hangman's like, well, if you give me what I want, then I'll never challenge for the AEW World Title again as long as I'm in AEW. And MJF is like, oh, I agree. But before that, he was like, I'm not just gonna tell you my decision now. I don't shoot first and then ask questions later.
Like, I'm not gonna tell you the stipulation.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you the stipulation. But then like he agreed to Hangman's stipulation, and then Hangman's
he agreed to have a stipulation. He didn't agree to, because Hangman doesn't say he wants the Texas death that the fans are saying until after until MJF agrees to him putting his AEW World Title future on the line.
Yes, he agreed to Hangman putting his future on the line. He agreed to that. He said, I agree. And then he's like, I'll have my stipulation answer next week. And then Hangman's like, well, it's a Texas death match. And then they did the graphic of, so for next week, it's MJF and Hangman pick the stipulation for their match. So do they have to like agree on the stipulation?
So.
Do they both pick a stipulation?
And so it's just up to them to figure out what they want. Basically, what I think they're gonna do next week is the good promo exchange that they did before Forbidden Door, where Hangman goaded MJF into putting his title shot on the line. They're just gonna do it now with the stipulation where he's gonna goat MJF into making it a Texas death match.
I guess it was just a little confusing because I got where Hangman was getting at in the first place. Like I understood where he was coming from, but then MJF, when he was like, I'll have my stipulation next week, but then he agreed to the title stipulation, but then Hangman's like Texas death match. And again, then they did the graphic of MJF and Hangman will choose the stipulation. Do they both get to pick and then you put it to a poll? Is this Wrestle Kingdom or something with it? Like it was a little confusing on there. Obviously the big idea was Hangman says he's gonna put his title future on the line. If he loses, he won't challenge for the title ever again. Does he need I guess he does need the Texas Deathmatch stipulation that bad? I'm looking at it like, you beat him twice last year. Like, do you really need the Texas like you already had the title match. It's not even like you're doing this because you don't have you earned the title match. So
yeah,
you have the title match. You beat him twice last year. Do you need a Texas Deathmatch stipulation? I know he's doing it because he's like, we need to end this feud type of thing, but just beat him. Just felt
you've already beat him in a regular matchup. Yeah, I think that the way they got to the stipulation was a little bit flawed. So I do agree with any like criticism anybody has to that, but I will say this match needed this stipulation.
Oh, yes.
Maybe it doesn't really need like a Texas Death Match or whatever the stipulation is going to be between the two guys. I think it is going to be a Texas Death Match because they kind of push that heavy in this segment. So I think it's going to be Hangman convinces them to a Texas Death Match. But this matchup definitely needed the hook of Hangman putting his AEW World Title future on the line, because now it's not as predictable. I think when we found out that was the AEW Revolution main event, I think a lot of people were disappointed. One, because it's not Andrade, and two, because we've seen this matchup, and three, because it was predictable. You just eliminated one of those reasons for people not to like it. The people that wanted Andrade are still, or just hate Hangman now because of the whole picture scandal, they are not going to like this. So you can't even eliminate that one. Yes, it is a matchup that we've seen twice before over the last year, so you can't eliminate that one, but you now make the match a little bit more unpredictable by adding this stipulation. I think this was a wise decision that gives it a hook. I think it was Ibu of Self-Made who made the reference that making it also a Texas Death Match is like a hat on a hat. It is kind of like that. I do kind of agree with that assessment. You don't really need the extra thing, and I think there was another way to get to that.
Now you don't need extra stuff.
I need it in a match. I don't need it in a promo. I don't need it in a promo. But I thought the promo work was very strong. It was a compelling segment that does give this matchup a little bit more drama to it.
So MJF tweeted, "I've got a full week to marinate on a stipulation. The idea of you never being world champion again warms my heart." Is this like a negotiation? So like Hangman has picked his stipulation. He's like, it's got to be a Texas Death Match, and if I lose, I'll never challenge for the title again. I guess MJF could just accept that and be like, all right, you know what? I like the idea of you never being able to challenge for the title again, but I don't like the Texas Death Match. What if we do this style of that? And then Hangman can go back, well, no, okay, fine, we can do that match, but I'm not putting my title future on the line in that case. So maybe they drop this stipulation by the end of next week.
He goes, if it's a Texas Death Match, then I will never, if I lose, I will never get a shot at the AEW World Championship as long as I live. But if you don't want to make it a Texas Death Match, then I never get an AEW World Title shot as long as you're champion.
I'd just drop it altogether. Like if MJF, let's say MJF comes back with I really feel like I like this mostly because they can finally do what they should have done with Cody, and they turn Hangman heel, and he goes back on his word. I don't know if they'll do that. Like I agree that like Cody should have done that at some point. I just don't know, because it's been such a talking point with Cody that they might not just like do that at all here. MJF should come back. I always say this when it comes, especially with heels. I know, like, oh, he wants to prove he's the better man. Fuck all that. MJF is about winning, right? MJF stipulation, but you got to pin me for 100 count. I got to pin you for a 1 count. Take it or leave it, buddy. Or you can, and then Hangman's got to come back with a counter of like, he's the champ, so they're going to negotiate stipulations, I guess, is the gimmick here. Hangman has to come back of like, how about maybe you'll go with what you said. How about it's a regular match, but I won't challenge until you as long as you're the champion. And MJF is like, okay, fine. This is what we'll, because then MJF gets what he wants of it's a singles match, which is what he wanted. Yeah. And then you don't have to deal with Hangman. Yeah, Greater Than Hardrock saying the funniest thing is Hangman still has the trios belt, which he's allegedly defending on Saturday.
Which was hilarious on the show where they did Kevin Knight versus Beast Mortos, where Kevin Knight said if Beast Mortos beats him, LFI gets a shot at the trios championships, which I was definitely confused about because I'm pretty sure there's only 2 of y'all that have been active. It's just Beast Mortos and Sammy Guevara at this point. I haven't seen Juralistico in weeks. I know Rush is injured, so they would have had to wait for a trios title match. They couldn't even do it on Saturday. So I was like, yeah, Kevin Knight's definitely going to win this one. So when he won, I wasn't that surprised. And then they just had the demand challenge them like without any matchup, and they get the title shot on Saturday. Beast Mortos, you should have just cut a promo, bro. You didn't have to wrestle.
I understand why like Hangman didn't come out with the trios title because it would look stupid in this segment, but at the same time I'm like, aren't you a trios champion? Like I feel like you should have some type of pride with this title and have it.
The trios title has been directly connected to the world title for like nearly a year now.
Yeah, it's the demand should probably just win it. I mean, then you still have somebody with 2 titles, but at least it's like a heel and it's not the world title. So I'm much happier with that.
If the demand has it, then you can actually do what you said you were going to do with the national title. And Ricochet doesn't defend it on AEW television anymore. He just defends it outside, and he defends the trios titles here.
Yeah.
And why is he still feuding with Jack Perry? Oh my God!
Because everybody, we need more Jack Perry.
No, we don't need any more Jack Perry.
Always need more Jack Perry.
Versus Ricochet, though. We don't need any more of that.
They're gonna have a stabbing match. They're gonna have a knife on a pole match.
What are we doing? First hour of this show was really good. After the MJF and Hangman segment, I felt like it dropped off a little bit, and then it came back up for the main event. But it was another really good show from AEW.
Jon Moxley and Mark Davis ruled, and I don't know if like Mark Davis cut his hand like legitimately, or
why did you punch the pole like that?
Yeah, or if that was like a legit pole punch. I don't know if. I guess I could totally buy that, like he just like bladed his hand so it looked good, but or if he like really punched the pole that hard. But I was like, I've never seen like a hand bleed in that manner. That was insane. That's what took the matchup for me. I was like, I'm just so intrigued by this bloody hand here.
I think that freaking Mark Davis has been stepping up. Mark Davis has been in a lot of really good matches. He's been really showing his worth over the last couple of weeks, but this was probably his strongest performance of the last couple of weeks. Even though he was great in the 6-man tag last week, he was even better here. The selling of the hand was really well done. Moxley, he got like rid of a lot of Moxley's bad tendencies in singles matches between the Takeshita match, which he also does a good job of hiding kind of the bad tendencies of Moxley. But Moxley was really good as a babyface working from underneath against Davis here, and then working over the hand like a freaking maniac as he always does.
And then we did get the no time limit match for Takeshita and Jon Moxley at Revolution, which was something that we talked about as a possibility of happening.
So do they now have to go 60 minutes? Because they did specify, they hit us over the head on commentary on Saturday that on TV it's a 20-minute time limit for the Continental Championship, but on pay-per-view it's 60-minute time limit. So Moxley didn't realize that, and that's why he made the challenge for no time limit, or they're gonna go over 60 minutes.
I hope they go over 60 minutes just because I think it'd be funny. I don't even like 60-minute matches. But...
Has Moxley ever done a 60-minute matchup?
Ooh. Maybe in the Indies?
Maybe on the Indies. Yeah, maybe like before WWE. Because he was kind of like that kind of endurance guy. Even though he was on a lot of death matches. But
let me
see him having like a 60-minute matchup. He had a 120-minute Iron Man match.
The problem is I can't type in like 60 because then I just get. Oh, it's so tough to search with this. Yeah, I don't see anything off quick. He did an Iron Man match in WWE, didn't he? Didn't they do 30 minutes with him and somebody? Or am I just making that up? He did 30. Yeah, he did 30 minutes in FCW. So,
okay.
So not WWE.
Wait,
but
with who? Rollins?
Yeah, Seth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a CZW Iron Man, or just for the Iron Man title, so I don't know if that's the actual like Iron Man match. He's done a couple 30-minute Iron Man matches. I don't see anything that's 60, so I don't know what his overall longest match is.
To be fair, the Adam Copeland match at Revolution last year felt like it was 60 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, I don't know if he's done a 60-minute match, but yeah, I'm with you. If it's 60 minutes on pay-per-view, why do you do a no time limit? It just feels like no time limit is like it sounds more.
It sounds better than 60 minutes.
Yeah, it sounds like it has more gravity to it than just like, hey, it's just a title match on pay-per-view, which means there's a 60-minute time limit. It sounds like if you put no time limit, it's like, oh, this is a really important match. There's no time limit. So I think that's why they wanted to do it in that manner. Why did the Brawling Birds go like 20 minutes with these two people?
I'm pretty sure it was like 3 minutes. Hey, I'm all for Becca getting some shine. I didn't mind it. But yeah, this probably should have just been a squash. Should have just been them washing them. I do like them doing a version of the heart attack with the haterade. That was cool. And I like their music, and I like how they have like coordinated on the gear as well. But yeah, I agree. It didn't probably need to be as long as it was. But
Becca's hitting like a double springboard stunner, and I'm like, this is an enhancement match. I mean, I like Becca as well.
A Brody King squash, not AEW squash.
I was like, I did not need this match to go 20 minutes. I mean, that's fine that they had to redo the lineup because of like injuries and illnesses and everything. This match you didn't need to add 3 minutes to this match to redo the lineup. You could have done.
It was nearly 4 minutes. Damn, that's pretty long.
Yeah, that's too long.
I mean, yeah. Hey. I will say, me and Jimmy also on a Rebel last week. We spent a lot of time talking about the lack of time given to women's division, and they got a good like 25 minutes on this show. So thank you for watching the Ramble, Tony Khan. We appreciate more time. We need this amount of time, but increase it little by little for the women's division on an active basis. Because man, that 4-way for the TBS championship, that was really good. That was really good stuff. Really fun stuff. Probably the best Mina Shirakawa has looked on an AEW Dynamite match, even though she loses all of her title matches. And I love the portion of Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne going at it. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the strikes on the outside, I really enjoyed that stuff between them. I do have a complaint about this. I don't need Megan Bayne doing a suicide dive. I don't.
Hey, I agree with Greater Than Horror. I don't need Marina Shafir ever doing a 619 DDT.
Yeah.
Like, she always botches it. Why do you don't do things that you consistently don't do well?
Yeah.
That's what I want from Marina Shafir.
Yeah, Marina Shafir is just much better when she's like literally kicking the shit out of people. I don't need her trying anything else. And Megan Bayne on her suicide dive, I was like, why? Just throw people. Like when she threw me, and I was like, this is great right here. Yeah, just fucking throw people. Like I don't need you doing a suicide dive.
She always gotta show out. She doing the Mega Rana or Mega Steiner, she calls it the Mega Steiner. And then oh my god,
that suplex. Yeah, she
almost broke her neck.
So when they were setting it up, it was clear they were taking a tick to set it up. And so I thought she was going to flip out of it because they were taking so long to set it up. But instead she was going to go full full chest bump instead of back bump. And I was like, oh, that nearly ended very badly. That nearly bad. So, see, I don't mind the suicide dive of like the Undertaker when he does it, go flying over the top rope. Like, okay, you're a big man and you do that. Like, that looks impressive. I think if you're a bigger person and you go between the ropes, I just don't think it looks great a lot of times. You know, Beast Mortos adds like the twist and stuff. Okay, cool. I don't look. Seth Rollins has a shitty suicide dive. I think his sucks. But I don't think anybody can like match Darby Allin's suicide dive because he just literally like it looks like he's trying to commit suicide when he is diving onto people. But I just don't think big people like the between the ropes suicide dive like looks very good a lot of times. And Megan's bigger, and so I don't need it from her. Just throw people. It's much better. So, yeah, unless you're gonna add like a twist or something, then it looks cool. But that's my nitpick there. Megan Bain's great. I hope she knows that. Hope everyone realizes I do love Megan Bain. Don't do a suicide dive. I do love Marina Shafir. Don't do a 619 destroyer DDT or whatever the hell you're trying.
And Mina, don't start dancing when you have hit your opponent with like 3 moves in a row and you're going for a figure 4. Why did you have to taunt? Why did you press the direction buttons?
You gotta get your shit in, man.
Like, well, you look dumb. You get pinned like that.
EO has a good suicide dive. It works for like the smaller people. Like they make it look good. They're small.
I think like Samoa Joe and Brody King have good suicide dives.
Joe's good because he like kind of leads with like his forearm. And so yeah, like I do like that from him. And too many people now just do like the push. So and like that looks like shit. And that's my issue with it. That's why I can't stand Seth's suicide dives. Like you're just like shoving this dude. This looks stupid. He did this one match where he did like 5 in a row. I was like, this sucks.
And he totally got that from Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal was the first person I ever saw do like the multiple suicide dives in a row.
The push suicide dive sucks. Like if you're gonna mix it up, I'm okay with it. But not enough people mix it up. Look, if Megan Bain wants to go forearm first and hit people, all right, cool. I'll give her some grace then. But the way it looked last night, it was just the kind of not good looking suicide dive, and she's a bigger person trying to do it, and so it looks a little awkward. The Young Bucks are gonna face FTR at Revolution. I thought Stokely's promo was really good.
Oh, he was so great.
I enjoyed
him crapping on the kids and then crapping on the mom and dad. I was like, yo, Stokely. I see so many people hating on FTR online. I was like, y'all people don't appreciate Stokely Hathaway. Y'all don't deserve Stokely Hathaway. Yeah, he has been the missing link for the FTR act, and it's been so good over the last year for me.
Nah, I did like Stokely's portion where he's like, I hated you guys shaking hands. Like, we hate everyone. And you're at the top of this list. And then it's your parents, and then it's your dumbass kids running around here.
Around all the time.
I did like Stokely's portion. And then the Bucks showed up and they super kicked everyone. And they said, Revolution, we're gonna do a match. All right. You think they're gonna do the Lakers and the Celtics gear again, like they did a few years ago? Because
they should. It is LA. Yes, we gotta run it back. But they come out with the white Laker tights instead of the black ones that they did before. Do that.
I did like on Stokely's promo where he's like, you would be surprised at how many people like hate us as well for the things we say. I was like, no, I listen to Dax's podcast pretty regularly. I can imagine that. I know a lot of people didn't enjoy that.
You make good points. Valid points there. But I think that matchup, I know we even complained about, the Bucks winning last week. I did like Stokely's portion where he brought up Private Party and the fact that the Young Bucks tried to run them out of AEW. Yeah. Going back to like Swerve, I think they might do like the Mogul Embassy and maybe Private Party joins up with them.
Okay.
That might
anything
be something
else
to do, but I think that Bucks versus FTR, despite my like hesitation towards buying that last week, I think it's going to be excellent at the pay-per-view, especially with that hot LA crowd. And if they stay with it either being a straight up tag team matchup or even maybe 2 out of 3 falls, I think it will be one of the best matches on the show. But I think the only other thing,
they're going to do too many kickouts and I'm going to hate it.
Probably. The only other thing,
that's a match that's going to insist upon itself.
I think it insisted upon this. I'll be on in the weeds just so you can use that line. But yeah, the only other thing was the tag team matchup with the War Dogs.
Yeah, I hope Ishii's good.
Yeah, I think Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio said that he had heard that Ishii was fine and they kind of dodged the bullet. But Ishii, man, he just has that style where he doesn't take any days off. He doesn't come with like 50%, 80%, 70%. He's always gonna go all out. So injury is bound to happen, but it would have sucked that 2 times in a row his injury happened as he's like a guest star on AEW. And in a matchup, it sucks that he was like hurt a little bit in the matchup because this was the first time I've ever seen Ishii win on Dynamite.
Yeah, that's true. Man, it's rough for Clark Connors that he can't even beat Ishii.
Yeah, and they did commentary did confirm that he's officially with AEW. Yeah. They didn't say anything about Gabe Kidd though.
Gabe keeps saying he's going back to Japan anyway, so
yeah,
maybe they really haven't signed Gabe because he is kind of dual contract type of thing. So yeah, I'm glad
Allin is still attacking the War Dogs.
Sure. I didn't like Tony Schiavone in this match, and like during the entrance and everything, he was like off put by Gabe Kidd. I was like, Gabe Kidd's had like 100 matches in this company. Why? How do you not understand his gimmick at this point?
Because he's Darby's uncle. He's Sting's brother.
I guess. He acted like he'd never seen Gabe Kidd before. He's like, this guy's weird, coming out here on all fours and everything. Like, it was very JR moment for Schiavone.
That sounds like Jim Ross.
That's what it sounded like to me when he was talking about Gabe Kidd. I was like, dude, he's wrestled a bunch of times in this company. What? How are you just now? Like, why is this your conclusion here? And it wasn't doing it in a way of like selling it. He was doing it in a way of like confusion. Like, he's never seen this dude before, and that's why I was like, I was confused by Schiavone being confused by this. All right, that was Dynamite. SP3, do you have a moment of Wednesday?
My moment of Wednesday was the final 3 minutes of Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland, because it did not assist upon itself. It added to the matchup and took it to the next level. So the final 3 minutes of Omega and Swerve is my moment of Wednesday, but also the post-match. Post-match was so necessary, and it helps out AEW overall and makes the world title main event picture, which has been one of the best stories in all of wrestling, not just AEW, but all of professional wrestling this year. It takes it up another level.
My moment of Wednesday was the final 3 minutes of Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland, and the way that Kenny Omega sold the jaw and the way that Swerve Strickland sold the kick out as well. Just classic AEW wrestling here. This went from a 5.5 star match to a 5 3/4 star match. Just accept where the best wrestle. Indeed, they made Kenny Omega, the god of professional wrestling, the best bout machine, look even greater than he already is.
Glad we see eye to eye.
I was actually mad that you said that, because that was going to be my bit the entire time. I was going to say that. And so once you said it, I was like, fuck, do I still go with this?
Yes,
that's why I delayed a second before I gave it. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go with it. Fuck it. C Delgado did send a super chat. He said Swerve's going to cost Hangman at Revolution.
I would love that. I would love him to be like, You're the whole reason why it was a question if I was still the most dangerous man in AEW. I haven't forgot, and now that I basically took Omega out of the picture, I got to get you out of the picture as well, because you're gonna stand in my way of becoming AEW World Champion. You cost me the title at All In London 2024. I would probably still be champion, so I need you out the way as well before I get to MJF.
All right, I'm gonna set this up, so stay with me here, folks. Thank you to Louie for sending $2 for the bit.
Thank you.
So did Hangman put his title career on the line? And let's say that Swerve does cost him, and then you do Swerve and Hangman. Swerve proves he's the most dangerous. And so then by effectively writing off Hangman, so he can never challenge for the title again, he gets effectively written off. I don't know when his contract's coming up. They signed like a 5-year deal. I feel like 5 years ago. So
I think that was 2023.
Okay, let's say it wasn't a 5-year deal. Just stick with me so I can get this shit.
It's 3 years. It's 3 years. So.
Okay. So do we think he's going to WWE off of this because it's a more socially acceptable company for the friends he keeps?
I mean, he would feel much more comfortable, except he would have one guy who would just, every time he walks by him, be like, empty-headed dumb fuck.
I don't think he's going to WWE. I don't think his contract is up anytime soon. I just wanted to... I would never tweet that because people would be super weird in my mentions over that. But, I can get the joke off on this show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sends Punk back to AEW. It's like, fuck, all right.
This is long-term storytelling by TK. He's going to be like, I'll let you out your contract early. You go to WWE, so he'll come back here.
Okay, mid 2027. Okay, I knew it was a little bit longer. Once SP3 said it was like 2022, 2023, because I'm pretty sure it's like a 5-year deal, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
it was when they did the Elite reunion.
Yeah,
so that was early 2023.
Yeah, like the third version of the Elite reunion. Thunder Rosa is back. We didn't mention that. Yeah, good on her. She's cleared.
Yes,
she's back.
I was happy to see her back. I think that's a good first opponent for a Tekla, someone that's her size that can have some physical matches with her. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to see Thunder Rosa back on Collision as well against Julia Hart.
That felt like we got two things to do here. Let's just put them in the same segment. Because Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander had no real connection to be here, and then Statlander's like, make sure you watch your back. I was like, oh, why don't you be out there with her then?
She's not cleared to be at ringside.
I mean, she said she's going to fight. She's not cleared to wrestle, so come on now. Yeah, that was so funny when Thunder Rosa was like, I've been cleared for a while, when Renee was like, she's just cleared. I was like, oh fuck, you're losing on Saturday.
Well, she's resting Julia to set up the Tekla matchup, so we'll see.
I mean, maybe she might just lose to Julia, and they're like, and that was the last we've seen of Thunder Rosa. I caught that.
Get a Tekla promo on Collision at least.
I caught that as well when Renee was like, you just got cleared, and Thunder's like, oh, I've been ready for a little while. Like, oh, okay.
Like, actually,
I cleared like 3 months ago. I've been wrestling on the indies.
I've been backstage for weeks. Where are you, Renee?
Results of our poll question. Everybody, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. I put it up late, which we still got plenty of votes. Appreciate everybody voting. Backstreet Boys 44%. NSYNC said 57%. 56. Oh no, 57. Back to 57. So there you go. Okay. NSYNC. The crowd is going with NSYNC over Backstreet Boys. I agree with the audience here. You guys are jerks to me today, calling me.
These are new kids. These are new kids.
Calling me names like Joel Pearl and Bully Ray. So
they went in on you today. Damn.
I know. So mean to me today. I got feelings, everybody. Allegedly.
Sheesh.
Anything else, SP3?
Best match. So just.
Oh, okay. You got best matches? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Best matches for the week. I hope you just put the closing stretch as its own match.
Yes, the closing stretch. It's going to be number 2. This one, number 1. The closing 3 minutes. Honorable mentions. I'll go with Mark Davis and Jon Moxley from last night's Dynamite, and MJF versus Brody King, which was very close to cracking the top 5. But I watched some other matches since last Thursday, so. Number 5, I went with Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita from AEW Grand Slam Australia. I gave that 4.25 stars. Number 4, Mystico versus Templario from CMLL last Friday in Arena, Mexico. Great matchup. Went like 28 minutes, so right out of Jeremy Lambert's time zone, but right in perfect with me. Then we got Teton versus Masquerada Dorada from that same CMLL show last Friday. Oh man, this is one I tell everybody, go out of your way to watch. It was awesome. Technical wrestling, high flying, some good selling from Teton as well. So go out of your way to watch that one. The Mystico Templario matchup, I gave 4.25, and I gave Teton and Dorada 4.5 stars. Number 2, Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe, the match 7, game 7 ladder match. I gave that 4.5 stars. Just a balls to the wall, insane ladder match. A lot of big risks. The brain buster off the top, the J driller through the ladder lawn dart. Shows so many gruesome, brutal stuff in that matchup. And then number 1, of course, the final 3 minutes of Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland, and the entire matchup as well. It's 1A, 1B for both of those. Is number 1. Swerve and Omega was absolutely fantastic. I want to go 5 stars, 4.75, 5 stars, whichever one you want to give it. This was the best AEW match of the year so far, just edging out Kyle Fletcher and Tommaso Ciampa from last week.
I disagree. Ciampa and Fletcher was better. Can't believe
you like kickouts and moves more than storytelling and selling.
And they both had kickouts and moves. They both had storytelling and selling.
Kyle Fletcher gets a little bit.
Yeah, he does go. Yeah.
With the selling part.
Yeah. I can't believe you didn't have Maxine and Natty on there. That's a shame.
They didn't wrestle this week.
Was that not this week? I thought that was this week. I can't remember these things.
They brawled this week. I didn't have anything from WWE.
Wasn't it an official match?
WWE has been on a bad stretch of shows. Can we say that?
Okay, but hold on. Maxine and Natty, the angle was this week, right? I didn't.
They did a brawl. After Natty, Asuka, and Bailey, which was.
Oh no! Oh yeah! I thought the match was this week. Oh, that was last week. Where? Natty put her on the sharpshooter on the table.
You should have said I should have had Jordan Grace and Jade Cargo, which was good, but nothing on match of the best.
Yeah, that's not fun though.
Yeah.
And Jordan Grace and Jade Cargo is not fun because that actually was good. So there's no fun in having like a good match on there. You should have had Ariana Grace winning the Knockouts Championship on there.
Yes, that match sucked. Oh, it was so bad.
That was this week. There we go.
Yeah, that was Friday. Yeah.
Let everybody know where they can find you at SP3.
Find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be live in about 20 minutes with Jimmy Macaram for AE Ramble. We're going to be breaking down AEW Dynamite from last night more in depth. And like I said before, I really enjoyed this episode of Dynamite. So Jimmy Macaram will try his best to make it sound even worse than what it really was, because he never likes anything that I like nowadays. Even though he did give last week's episode 8 out of 10, which for Jimmy is like someone giving it a 10 out of 10. So solid.
I hope he buries the final 3 minutes as well.
Fingers crossed, right?
Now I know I'm wrong if Jimmy agrees with me, so I know I'm being a hater.
Yeah, then you just know you're being a hater.
Yeah, I know I'm being a hater. Yeah. I stand by it. I'm not backing off of what I said. I stand by what I said. I also realize I'm most likely being a hater if Jimmy agrees with me.
I respect it.
All right, folks. We're back tomorrow. We are supposed to be joined by two pals who have been on the show before. I know I've already kind of spoiled it, so I don't know why I'm trying to. I don't want to say it because the last time it didn't come true. I don't know if I've even mentioned this. We didn't talk to AJ Francis on Tuesday. AJ clearly ducking me still, and we talked to
rap against me. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, he's clearly still ducking me. So we did not do the interview with AJ Francis on Tuesday. We talked to Madman Fulton. That interview should be up. We might post that this weekend. I talked to Joel about when that's going up. But yeah, AJ Francis still ducking me. But we're scheduled to be joined by two people who have been on the show before, who we very much appreciate. And I still have heat with because they debuted their show on my birthday. It made me work on my birthday. I don't respect that.
Yeah, that's true.
One's unemployed. One's a champion. So
there you go.
Two different ends of the spectrum there. And as far as success,
he's
in the wrestling
unemployed,
world.
but he is on TNA every week.
Yeah, he's not getting paid though. He's just showing up. They should call the cops on him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, folks. We'll be back tomorrow. Myself, Joel, two special guests. I think that's everything. Myself and Jensen are back tonight with a new episode of The Spotlight. We got a lot to talk about. I know we're going to talk some Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey, and I assume we're going to talk gambling. Jensen's going to bet a lot on that fight, I would imagine. So we'll do that as well. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us for nearly 3 hours now. Jesus. For nearly 3 hours now. Appreciate you as always. SP3. We'll catch everyone tomorrow.